coward, only the pain is scars getting constant with the race, brother. I put the rank in my back for the information's sake when you gaze at the facts. I've been waiting for the double-headed steak in the rat. I need a reaction and a nap before the climax to keep attack, cuz I got a terror attack style like Cyrax, blowing up the mask, metal mask on. What? I'm in a class above a black belt, just like a master. Battle the disaster, sipping blood dripping from a dagger. Relax, I'm too fat, hits the blue magic. Raised by the classics, first release on repeat, turn them all into addicts. Still ain't fucking with it. You get off in my clique. Mad at the world with the scars on my fist, bitch. You get off in my clique. When I'm living in a state of mind you can't fix. You get off in my clique. Mad at the world with the scars on my fist, bitch.
Awesome, what's going on, man? We're about to get into this motherfucker. Let me tell you what. I got a lot of shit on my mind, and I'm about to get it off my chest. This stream usually lasts from about 2 to 3 hours. Stick around, have a good time. Jimmy, what's good, man? We're about to get into this shit hard, bro. Some of you might not like what I got to say today. Some of you might get a little pissed off at me today. T. Steve, I'm glad you made it. Very, very glad you made it. Love your opinions and I love your facts. Go to the bathroom. We're gonna start this show in just a minute. Okay, my friends, my Riffamaniacs. Are you guys ready to get into this? Because I sure the fuck am. Let me talk to you about a couple of things real quick. We're gonna bust it out. Let me kick it off to my sponsors. Even though Rockstar doesn't sponsor me, you know I drink one every goddamn show. We are not solidified by Rockstar. Rockstar does not pay me for saying that. Draw your own conclusions. I have fulfilled my legal obligations. Are we good? Okay, my friend. Oh! Everybody loves the sound of a fresh pop. Now, allow me to shout out to some of the people that support me and some of the people that you should support. Let me take off my hater blockers so I can read this properly. We got a shout out to my motherfucking man Golden Threat. We got that crazy tool motherfucker. You can go in there. Fox Socks, always giving that love. You know what's up. You know what's up. Chrissy, Hammer Time. Stephen King Show, 420 Club, GPG Club, Delix Life. I caught that Nikki D and Delix Life show. It's a very good time. Jay Hardy, Liquid Lola, Dude 125 with the virtual bars. They're going to be outside now. And you got Hater Terminator in the Graveyard Salute all the way. Bam! Super Dave, Twisted Sense, Pigeon, Laura Croft. Laura Croft is on now. Big Crash, Graveyard, I said that, Rock Metal Nation, always showing me love. Thank you for coming in. Liz Switz, Ruger Q, Mary Pike, Critter, Nerdy Effect, 604, Sam Naga, the sexiest streamer of all, and last but not least, Dr. Motherfucking Jekyll. So, there's been some things going on. Dr. Jekyll is going to be taking a little bit of a break. He's got some personal things happening in his life. So that's something that we're all going to have to deal with. No more Dr. Jekyll for just a little while. But he will be back. Now, some of the things that I wanted to get into today. Can y'all read that? Can y'all read that? It says, when the media says that the Ariana Grande concert bombing might not have been Islamic terror. Wait till you see who your boy RiffRaff is going to be pointing the fucking finger at today. Wait till you see. Wait till you see, bro. Now, without further ado, let's get into the mainstream of the side of things. Then we'll get into the alternate side of things, and then I'll start sharing some of my own facts and opinions on this bullshit.
Oh my God. 22 people killed and 59 injured in a suicide bomb attack at Manchester Arena. The worst incident, say police, the city has ever faced. Good afternoon.
Look at that microphone.
In Manchester this afternoon with
Look
an
at that
extended
thing.
news programme here and on YouTube amid the worst terror attack on British soil for more than a decade. 22 people, including children, are dead and dozens have been hurt after a bomber blew himself up at the end of a concert by the American singer Ariana Grande. In the last few moments, police say a 23-year-old man has been arrested. Eyewitnesses speak of...
All right, so that's the official story. A man blew himself up at the Ariana Grande concert. That's the official story, okay? And they're going to go ahead and say that they're not sure if he had a network that he was working with or if he was working by himself. So, let's get more into this.
About the fear and confusion that gripped the crowd as the explosion went off. The panicked rush to escape. The desperate search for relatives, many of them still missing. There have been many acts of kindness from the emergency crews and medics who rushed to help.
Okay, what he's talking about is acts of kindness. Some of the Muslim taxi drivers and some of the people that were involved offered their time and their services for free for some of the victims that were part of this bombing.
The families who offered up their rooms. The election campaign is on hold as Theresa May heads to Manchester. There will be difficult days ahead, she says, but our way of life will always prevail. It is almost
Laura Croft is in the house.
Suicide attack aimed at causing maximum.
We're talking about that bombing, Laura.
Fans, to children at a pop concert here last night.
We're talking about the bombing.
Many young people are among the 22 who died and the 59 others who were hurt. Some now battling life-threatening injuries. Police were called to the Manchester Arena last night at 10:33. The attack fleeing as the city's Arndale Centre was evacuated amid a security alert. Matt Fryer reports on how events have unfolded. You might find some of the images distressing.
Ariana Grande on stage in
Russell,
front
what's
of
going on?
21,000 people, mostly teenagers and children. At 10:30, concert over, a dash cam records a...
Okay, so what's going on here is this is the official story. I wanted to go ahead and pop out the mainstream version of the story first. Probably the version that you've already heard, and that's totally fine if you're coming here for the first time. We're going to go over this mainstream, dissect it a little bit. Then I'm going to go over some of what the alternative news is saying, and then what some of the troll people are saying, all the way down to 4chan. We're going to go through it all. I have the 4chan information. And I also want to talk about some of the July events. I have the video that proves, well, not proves, because it's not like you guys disagreed with me. It's just I didn't have the video to back it up when I was saying that this shit was going to happen, right? So let's get more into this.
Have a look in your bag, and it was just literally a glance.
Well, look, thank you so much and for telling us what happened. And, you know, I hope you get home and get some rest and feel better, because it's been a big shock. Well done, Isabella. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, well, let's go to find out now what's happening to those victims who are being treated in the 6 hospitals across the Greater Manchester area.
Now, have you seen it?
Rushed.
Because if you haven't seen the footage, I'm going to put it up right now, just so you can see it. I got your backs. Now I'll warn you, it's kind of disturbing. It's a little bit of it's kind of disturbing, but I feel like it needs to happen. We got to go over it, right? All right, so let's see. Here we go. Oh, nope. Whoops. Some of these videos are hard to find, dude. I do apologize. All right, here we go. Here we go. I found it.
Oh my gosh. What's going on? What just happened?
Miss Witz, what's going on?
What's going on?
Darth, what's going on?
Oh my god!
That's inside. Now I'm gonna find more of it. Hold on. Let me find more. Hold on. There's more. Hold on. There's more. There's more. Curtis, how the fuck are you doing, man? Well, you know, and that's why I'm here, because I want to take the mainstream topics, I want to take the alternative topics, and I want to take some of my opinions, put them in a public setting, and then you guys can rip it apart, and we'll try to figure out what sticks to the wall. Young Paco, you asshole, what's going on, man? So if you missed a lot of the action, this is the actual footage of it all going down. This happened right around 10:30 at night in Britain. Going over this bombing in Manchester, we're talking about it today. I wanted to wait a couple of days so I could get all the facts together before I fucking came on here and started shooting shit down your throats. Wait till you see, T-Steve. Wait till you see who I point the finger at. Well, not me personally, but. Yanni boy, how you doing?
Keep your leg raised, though. Keep your leg on there. Keep it raised so you don't lose blood. And get wrapped up with something as well. Hang on a minute. Which leg is it? This one? Tie it on with a t-shirt. Don't take nothing off.
Call an ambulance, quickly! Someone got an ambulance! Call an
I'm going to talk about that. Easy with the Muslim talk. Easy with that. I'm going to talk about it. Hold on a second, Jimmy. Cambo, we're talking about the Manchester bombing that just happened, bro. You already know. You already know what's going on. We're going to dissect it. We're going to look at all sides and then come up with some opinions, offer them to you guys, and then we'll see what sticks. So that was some of the more raw footage, right? That was some of the shit that was going on. So you saw the bomb go off inside the concert. You saw the people getting trampled. You saw the cops show up. You seen the official report. Okay, they want to say it was a terror. They don't want to absolutely claim that it was a terrorist attack, but they don't want to actually say that it wasn't a network that they had. They want to claim that the guy worked alone. They want to say it was a single man, a single attack. And I also got to say a few other words about that. I got to say, guys, that I was ashamed. I'm ashamed at myself, and the reason why I'm ashamed at myself is because when my good friend, the Stephen King Show, y'all might know him, the Stephen King Show, He came and told me this information, right? They're not Muslims, they're terrorists. Big difference. Thank you, Stephen. It wasn't in the Manchester government who United States' biggest supporter? England. What does the United States want? Yeah, I heard about it, the England. So, my boy Stephen King told me about the terrorist attack. And I got to tell you, dude, I'm sorry because it didn't shock me. And, it kind of bothered me. Actually, I woke up the next day and I was really kind of pissed off at myself because the mental conditioning is working on me, is what I'm trying to say. They're trying to make these terrorist attacks a normal fucking thing. And if you haven't noticed by now, there's a pattern happening. They're happening almost every 2 to 3 weeks. They're happening every 2 to 3 weeks, whether it's Britain, London, whether it's somewhere in the goddamn UK, whether it's over here in America. It seems to be happening. And the reason why I was mad at myself is because I'm letting the mental conditioning work on me. It's working on me. And I'm mad at myself for it. When my friend came and said, wow, man, did you hear about the Ariana bombing? Killed a bunch of little girls and all this stuff. I was not emotionally fucking moved by that at all. I was not shocked whatsoever. And I feel really bad about that. I'm missing your comments. Occult's doing the things. The United States wants to control the oil in the Middle East. Correct. It's not oil anymore. It's always about oil. Our entire American currency is based on oil, Mr. Yanni boy. You're aware, Ryan? We'll figure out how aware I am today, won't we? We're going to throw some opinions out here, and we'll see how you guys react to them. Okay, so let's get some more videos up on the screen here. Yeah, but Yanni, I'm brainwashed. Yanni, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm brainwashed because I had no emotional reaction over this. None. Doesn't that bother you? Doesn't that make something tick in your fucking mind that says something is wrong here? Don't let that mental conditioning snap you out of reality where little girls getting blown up at a fucking concert is somehow not emotionally triggering to me. I should be fucking outraged over this. I should be pissed off. Oil, fossil fuels, money here. That's why they have to stay connected with the network. Yes, Steven, you're gonna be sniffing close to where I'm going. 1 death is catastrophic. 100 deaths is a statistic. I love that quote. USA and UK, shit ton of oil. Right, but that's also the EU and the UN and their unelected officials, and we have partnerships with them. So we're not going to fight, and we're not going to go to war with them if that's what you're suggesting. Who dis? To hell with this guy. Just kidding. I had an emotional reaction. I'm pissed, and I want to rip a cunt. You see what I'm saying, bro? You see what I'm suggesting to you, bros? I am mentally conditioned to not have emotional reaction. Is what I'm saying. And the French, and what does Katy Perry say? Well, I'm going to get into what Katy Perry says, but let's more importantly talk about what does the new French president say about what just happened? He says it's part of the norm. Well, he doesn't say that. He kind of articulates himself a little differently. He says something like, it's necessary. It's a necessary action in an ever-growing Islamic country or state. It's a necessary action in an ever-growing Islamic state. Let me translate that to you. That means get fucking used to it and go about your day because this shit is going to happen whether you like it or not, right? Riff, I agree. No emotion over it. They want us all to live in fear. Yeah, I had no emotion. I was pissed off at myself. I woke up the next day and I'm like, what am I doing? I got to research this. I got to look this up. I got to figure this out. I need to have a reaction over this. So I forced myself. You know what I mean? Fuck their conditioning. Fuck what celebs say. Well, I would agree with you, but a lot of people that don't watch the news or they're unplugged or whatever, they look up to celebrities and movie stars for their religious and political opinions, believe it or not. The UK government are fucked, but they're not George Bush. Hey, it's all part of the same seven-headed dragon. Andrew, it's all part of the same seven-headed dragon. French are pussies. They're... Whoa! Easy now. Easy now, Steven. You have no kids then? No, I don't have any kids, Yanni. No, I do not. But it doesn't mean that that I can't feel. You know what I mean? Because there are kids in my life. And I would be devastated if that happened to them. But that's not the point here. The point here is that I'm noticing a mental conditioning within myself. That these terrorist attacks happen over and over and over. And it's like not even shocking anymore. It's like, oh yeah, okay, well, you know, I'm working on my kill-death ratio, bro. Like, fucking party chat, somebody will come in and be like, bro, that, you know, there was just a terrorist attack. Oh, where? Oh, over in this country. Well, it wasn't here. Well, it wasn't here, so whatever. I got people to shoot, you know. So there it is, right? Well, you're fucked. George Bush started the first Gulf War. His son started the second one. Over what? Oil, yes, yes. Our entire economy is based on petroleum. And this is why, and for whatever reason, the unelected EU and the unelected UN and their state officials and representatives have decided to align themselves, to partner up with radical Wahhabis and radical Islamicists that are willing to perform jihad. And if you don't know what jihad is, a jihad in the Muslim faith is the only way that you're guaranteed to go to heaven. So people that have fucked up in life, right, they'll convert over to a Muslim faith and get radicalized oftentimes and then perform a jihad in order to guarantee themselves to go to heaven. So what we just saw at the Ariana Grande was a jihad. That's exactly what it was. And I got the facts to back it up. You ready for this? I got the facts to back it up. So here we motherfucking go. We're gonna go and check out my boy Paul because he knows his shit and he's gonna throw some opinions our way that we can go ahead and dissect and see what sticks again. Alright, so you guys ready for that?
Europe has been hit with yet another terrorist atrocity after at least 22 people were killed in an attack on the Manchester arena claimed by ISIS. The second attack on the UK in the space of 2 months. Victims, many of them teenage girls, massacred, mutilated, maimed. Why does this keep happening? Because our political class has demoted the most basic role of government to protect the lives of its people and replaced
I'm very glad you're here then, Andrew.
Role.
You might like some of the things that I have to say, but you're not going to like who I blame.
Tolerance of rape gangs abducting and abusing young girls for years. Tolerance of all the barbarisms of Sharia law. Tolerance of terrorist attacks. Tolerance is now more important than the basic right to life. Tolerance. Tolerance of terror being part of...
Who's Paul talking about? Paul's talking about the tolerance of the British government. That's who Paul's talking about right now, okay? Let's stick with Paul just for a minute. Okay, Paul, what are you talking about? He's talking about the tolerance of the British government. He's going to go ahead and kind of spin this around in a way that blames the British government. But I got more for you than that because I think it goes a little deeper.
Second attack on the UK in the space of 2 months. Victims, many of them teenage girls, massacred, mutilated, maimed. Why does this keep happening? Because our political class has demoted the most basic role of government to protect the lives of its people and replaced it with a different role. Tolerance. Tolerance of women being abused and harassed on the street. Tolerance of rape gangs abducting and abusing young girls for years. Tolerance of all the barbarisms of Sharia law. Tolerance
Easy with that,
of
Jimmy.
terrorist attacks. Tolerance is now more
Easy to that.
important than the basic right to life. Tolerance. Tolerance of terror being part and parcel of living in a major city, according to London Mayor Sadiq Khan.
Europe is getting used to attacks like this, Mika. We have to.
There's only one way Britain should respond to attacks such as Manchester. That is by carrying on exactly as before.
Just carry on. Forget about it. Be tolerant until it happens again and again and again. Tell me, how do the parents of dead kids just carry on exactly as before? How do the teenage girls whose legs have been blown off just carry on exactly as before?
As much as I'm praying for Manchester, I'm praying for Muslims who have to deal with racism and Islamophobia due to this tragedy.
Right, so that's what our main concern should be after dozens of children have been blown up. People being mean to Muslims. As a society, we need to make a choice. Which do we value more? Protecting the
Yanni can share his
Muslims
opinion if he wants.
or preventing our children from being blown up?
Muslims are to blame, when in reality Muslim taxi drivers are offering free lifts and a Muslim doctor working into the night saving lives.
Yeah, the fact that some Muslim taxi drivers are offering free lifts doesn't negate the fact that Islam has a problem with violence. You utter moron.
Islamophobia and sickening fake news is right. Tonight is showing a lot of people to be vile humans.
Yeah, vile humans follow a belief system that justifies massacring teenagers at a pop concert. Should we concentrate on stopping them or be more angry at inaccurate tweets?
Seeing all the posts about Manchester just reminds me of how we only notice it if it happens to white people.
Right, so the main complaint should be all those disgusting white people demanding attention for being slaughtered. How dare they? And in these times of our children being blown...
Andrew, can you give me any video titles? Can you hit me? Can you hit me with something I can look up so I can look that up? Because I think that would be relevant. That might be a connection. That might be a connection right there. The fuck is my pen? So, Brits won't be pushed over. No, they won't. And I'm going to tell you, if Brits don't stand up for themselves, then England will. And you don't want that to happen. Lazy fish, how the fuck are you? You don't want that to happen. Hit me with a video title if I can look that up, please. I'm ready for it.
To bits by terrorists. It's vital to point out the real danger. Katie Hopkins' offensive tweets. Being angry at Tommy Robinson. That's more important. I've come to realise that a lot of this hashtag pray for whatever concern signalling is worse than glib. It's repugnant narcissism.
People who see something horrible happen in the world, and they run to the internet. And they run to their social media, their Facebook, their Twitter, whatever they got, and they all write down the exact same thing.
Sort of.
My thoughts
pretty damn
and
close. But there's a distinction between British people and English people.
My thoughts and prayers with the people in Aurora. My thoughts and prayers with the families in Boston. Do you know what that's worth? Fucking nothing. Fucking less than nothing. Less than nothing. You are not giving any of your time, your money, or even your compassion. All you were doing.
Well, I appreciate your disagreement, but I would urge you to pick up your smartphone and figure it out for yourself.
Prayers count for nothing. CNN's Jake Tapper posting a Union Jack. Hey Jake, I don't recall you posting a Russian flag when all those innocent people got blown up in the St. Petersburg subway last month. Was political correctness to blame for one of the accomplices in the attack escaping detection?
How you doing, Tough?
This eyewitness says she spotted a woman acting suspiciously and told security, but they did nothing.
It looked very suspicious. She was fidgeting all the time with a bag on the floor across her. She was by herself.
What was she doing?
She was looking in the direction of where the explosion actually happened all night. And
seriously?
To herself.
Yes, Yanni. Seriously.
I
love how you're trying to be condescending with a comment. That's very funny. I like that.
Suspicious individual feel uncomfortable.
How would you like it if someone accused you of this? We'll look into it. And nothing was done about it. 1 to 2 minutes before the concert finished, this lady disappeared, and then, of course, the explosion went off.
Is she suggesting that security...
Okay, so what's going on here in the video? That lady right there was an eyewitness to somebody who was acting suspicious at the concert, okay? Not only was they acting suspicious, this lady actually went and told security about the person, and security did nothing. That's what's happening in the conversation right now. So let's listen to her one more time.
The woman who reported the incident was then lectured for making the suspicious individual feel uncomfortable.
How would you like it if someone accused you of this? We'll look into it. And nothing was done about it. 1 to 2 minutes before the concert finished, this lady disappeared. And then, of course, the explosion went off.
Is she suggesting that security did nothing because the suspicious individual was Muslim, and to ask her to leave would have been politically incorrect?
Then you're suggesting...
We'll never know.
So then you're suggesting that anyone... Okay, so then Paul Joseph Watson is also British then, right? Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, what are you trying to say? I don't get it. Explain your fucking self. Try not to be condescending. Pull the dick out of your comment. And fucking come with something correct. And maybe I might understand what you're trying to say.
Do know is this. Almost certainly, nothing will change. There are things we can change. Mass surveillance of hate-preaching mosques. Solitary confinement of individuals who are likely to radicalize others in prison. Extreme vetting and strict quotas on Muslim immigration. Deporting known terrorists. Prosecuting NGOs who send out boats to rescue unvetted migrants, some of whom sympathize with or are members of ISIS.
Okay, again, so what am I saying? So you're suggesting anybody from England is also British, or anybody from Britain is English. Take your fucking pick. What do you want to be? Do you want to be English, or do you want to be British? What do you want to be? You tell me.
This is the culture we're importing. Just 34% of British Muslims would inform police if they knew someone was getting involved with ISIS. 32% refuse to condemn those who take part.
I just think it's funny that you guys are getting your feelings mixed up over a label.
1 in 4 British Muslims
how fucking pathetic. How petty that is. Listen, we're talking about little girls being blown up, and you guys are fucking on about some petty ass shit. I just think it's hilarious.
And European countries are welcoming them in. Because tolerance. This is tolerance. This is diversity. This is the future our leaders have chosen for us. But we have a choice. We have hope. Don't let them tell you not to be angry. Don't let them tell you to just go on with
from now on, anytime I talk to somebody from the UK, I'm just going to call them English. Whether they identify as British, whether they identify as Irish, I'm just going to be like, oh, so you're British, you mean?
We need action. Hope has 2 beautiful daughters. Their names are Anger.
I got you.
Courage.
My bad, bro.
Anger
My
at
bad.
The way things are, and courage to see that they do not remain as they are.
So that's pretty intense what was going on there. Alright, so please, go ahead and interrupt everything to give me a lesson on whether you're English, Irish, or British, or from the UK. Go ahead, please. Allow me your time. I have time to waste. We can sit here and go over this if you would like. It's still pretty early in the show. Mr. Walrus, James Wood reported on the 9/11 assholes and got ignored too. Yeah, that led to the downfall of his career. Led to the downfall of his career, bros. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, does it? It doesn't fucking matter at all. That's what I find so interesting, is that these people who just had a fucking bomb go off in their country are more worried about what they're called than the actual content of the show. That's what I think is fucking hilarious right now. But please, I'm offering you my time. Go ahead and educate me, please. I'll play a tune and hit my bowl a couple of times. Okay, so Wales, Irish, Scottish, English. We are all British. Okay. I will keep that in mind. Next time I talk to Laura Croft, I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, you British cunt? How you doing? Come at me, bro, you British son of a bitch. Come at me, bro. I'm gonna have to write all that down, ain't I? I will write all that down. I'll be right back. Yeah, man. Dude, those fucking links are forever. I said a video title, not a fucking long-ass website. You want me to write out a paragraph of a website and then type it into a search engine on fucking YouTube? Just give me the goddamn video. Crying out loud. You got me over here blue screening my fucking stream and shit? Come on now. Come on now. What's the goddamn video title? Apparently, yeah, because Laura Croft doesn't want to be British, right? Let me see. Next time I see Pigeon, I'm going to say, hey, what's up, you British motherfucker? Next time I see Laura, I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, you British son of a bitch? It's going to be good. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I broke a string, bro. No guitar today, broke a string. There's nothing to understand, bro. Laura Croft identifies as Irish, does he not? Pigeon identifies as being English, does he not? You're suggesting they're all from Britain. That's fine. They don't call themselves fucking British, do they? What is your fucking point? That's more or less the question. That's what I think is interesting to me. Because we're talking about a bomb going off in your fucking country, right? And you're more worried about your label. How petty. How petty. How petty. But hey, if that's what you want to go on about, more power fucking to you. I got some more shit to show you. Now wait till you fucking British son of a bitches, wait till you figure out who I'm going to blame this attack on. Yeah, you guessed it. You guys ready for the big fat cheese of this show? I'm going to blame this terrorist attack on a white British guy. You ready for this? Are you son of a bitches ready for that? Are you son of a bitches ready for that? I'm going to blame this terrorist attack on a white British guy that's from Lebanon that changed religions and then performed a jihad in order to guarantee his freedom into the graces of heaven, to get his 72 virgins. By the way, they're all guys. All right. You guys are going to love this. This is my boy right here. This is my fucking boy right here. You ready?
Congratulations, Europe. Congratulations, Britain. Britain is now officially a Muslim country when the news reports garbage just like this. Quotes from Politico. Salman Abedi, a British man of Libyan origin, carried out the suicide bomb attack in Manchester, Read that and fucking weep, you fucking idiots. A British man of Libyan origin. So that is the new norm now. This is the new norm of Britain. It is now officially a Muslim paradise. I am mad for multiple reasons in making this video because after reading those articles saying this man is a British man, it's almost as if the media is saying that this is now the new norm. It's normal now in Britain to get bombed. Even if you're a young girl and you go to an Ariana Grande concert, odds are a nail bomb will go off and kill 22 of you and injure over 50 of you. This man is as British as Jihadi John. Yes, Jihadi John came from Britain somewhere. He was British of some degree somewhere. I believe he's from Kuwait originally, but still, are we really going to say second generations too as well are technically not really at risk? Are we just going to pretend people like Jihadi John just magically do it for no real reason? We already know the real reason to why this is all occurring. It has everything to do with the refugee crisis, and I am very angry that young girls, specifically young white women, are indoctrinated by cultural Marxism to want to take in these refugees, and people want to get mad at me when I blame white women, but it is the truth. Cultural Marxism takes advantage of their feelings. Cultural Marxism calls them a victim because they're a woman. Cultural Marxism nails them for white guilt, and cultural Marxism takes advantage of their maternity desires, and they see the desire of wanting to take in these young refugees as if they're children of the state. And this is exactly what they do, and this is what it looks like to be red-pilled as a young girl going to a concert.
Are you using that to offend me? Because think of how sick that is. That shows me a little bit about you, Yanni.
But instead of worrying about the hypothetical downside of letting migrants in, countries should be more worried about the actual downside of turning them away.
I want to be very clear again. I don't give a fuck about the virtue signaling. I don't care about the hashtag activism. I don't care about any of that garbage. I don't care if Jay Tapper wants to upload a picture
that's what
of
I was saying.
Jack because he's such a pussy and he won't really talk about the real problem.
That's what I was saying. So you're talking about mental conditioning and desensitization, which is a good point. That's a good point, Yanni. And that's exactly why I was upset with myself yesterday morning when I woke up and I was like, dude, I should be more pissed off about this. This is a heavy attack. This is bad. This is crazy, But yeah, so that's what led me to get on all about this. So
I don't really care about that. Instead, I want to make a couple guarantees, even though I typically don't do so, but I'm going to do them anyways because I feel like it's better for everyone long run. So the first guarantee I want to make out here is the news is going to say this is a lone wolf. They're going to pretend that this guy kind of did it on his own and he's just a madman, but that is false. Since ISIS is getting its ass kicked, and this guy is from Libya, the country with the civil war, Libya that has actually factions of ISIS and Al-Qaeda in it. You don't think this guy actually had connections to a real bomb maker? Do you think a bomb maker is gonna fucking go kill himself? No, that's not how it works. Bomb making is a high skill seen within the terrorist communities, and the bomb maker then gives it to a network of people, and the network of people figure out how to actually make this work. Do you think one person can make a bomb, infiltrate an Ariana Grande concert, and set it off with success? Do you even think one person would think by themselves to attack an Ariana Grande concert? Or do you think there's an expert in the field
Manchester
who
bombing
of the vulnerabilities and where to do terrorist attacks? Do you think he was actually ordered by someone else to do so? In my opinion, it would be a terror cell, but the news and everyone else out there wants to say lone wolf, and right now we actually do have an arrest that actually did come out. There was a 23-year-old man who was arrested in connection to this possible terrorist attack, and it is a terrorist attack, but I have to say possible because that's what the fake news media wants to say. I'm just making fun of them, and it's really annoying. Jack Posebek also posted on Twitter basically some screenshots of an account that was basically signaling the terrorist attack. I don't know how true this is or not, but if this is actually true, then it does signify and prove the point that I'm trying to make, that this is actually a terror cell or some type of network. The final red pill, and the one that's really hard to swallow, is typically with these terrorist attacks, the intelligence community knew something about it or had some type of probe or investigation but decided not to further it, either due to lack of resources, which is a pretty good excuse, or the fact that they're not perceived to be a threat. And that's kind of typically what happens with these things. And this is a prediction I'm going to make on this guy right here. I'm not necessarily saying this is a fact. This is more so an assumption that I'm making, but it's probably going to be true because that's typically what happens here. Other terrorist attacks that have happened across the Eurozone, we have seen the...
Yeah, Steven, they call them anchor babies. What people do is we have one of the most ancient traditions. It says it right on our Statue of Liberty. Give us your sick, you're tired, you're poor, you're hungry, you're huddled masses. With our economy, we can sustain life and get them into a more prosperous situation, right? So a lot of people from China, from different war-torn countries over in the Middle East, things like that, from the Korea, they'll come to America illegally and have a baby, and that baby would be a legal American citizen. See, it's called an anchor baby. People take advantage of our kindness here in America all the time, but we still get looked at as racist and bigoted. How funny is that?
The intelligence community know about it, but do nothing until it actually happens. Thus kind of showing that we actually have a real problem here. And even on our own soil, we have the same problem as well. I mean, in the United States, the FBI knew about Omar Mateen before he shot up that gay club. So there could have been something done there to try to prevent or foil him, set up some kind of trap or bait gun deal or some things, and just do something to prevent these things, but they choose not to do it, again, through either lack of resources or maybe they're perceived not to be a threat. So we have like a triple threat here coming in here, threatening our safety. You have the useful idiots wanting to bring in refugees who then smuggle in ISIS intelligence and ISIS fighters, or ISIS fighters coming back from the ground, just like Jihadi John. Even though Jihadi John's dead, I'm just using him as a placeholder there. Then you have the politicians after these incidences to tell everyone, whoa, 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 chill out with the Islamophobia. Don't be an Islamophobe. So that's the second part of the triangle, or the three-pronged approach. And the final one is the lack, or the lack thereof, of the intelligence community protecting their own people and actually being active in this whole situation. So the refugees come in, they bring in some terrorists within their own camps. The politicians take advantage and say, we need more
kind of, yes, actually.
Signal.
I am to an extent.
Protection. So we're going to keep having these things. This will then become a new norm of Britain. So you should expect that. I hope to see them all in a burqa in about 40 years before I die, and I will get the last laugh. And I know people get mad at me when I say stuff like that, but it's true. I mean, I don't feel bad for these people anymore. I don't feel bad for Europe. If you want to keep bringing them in and you keep getting terrorist attacks, that's your fault. That's your grave. You dug it. Go lay in it. So I just want to say shout out to everyone in the Wolfpack. Thanks a lot for your contribution.
All right, so let's kind of round this up to a head because I think it's important. Okay, so what they're trying to say is that certain things have happened in order to allow this to happen. Masks have been set up. A lot of people have been saying that British people have lost their identity. They're, displaying a great amount of tolerance. Merkel is saying, get on with your life. It's just a regular thing. The French president is saying, don't worry about it. This is just a necessary action in order to advance an Islamic state or whatever. And that's fine. And I'm not sitting here saying fuck all Muslims and shit like that. I think that's ridiculous. Matter of fact, I think a lot of Muslims get a bad rap because of shit like this. And to be fair, these guys, the guy that blew himself up was not fucking from the Middle East. He wasn't. He was a white guy. He's a fucking white guy from Britain who went to Lebanon and changed religions and decided to blow himself under the action of a jihad in order to guarantee his way into heaven. Do you think he made that bomb by himself? Do you think he wasn't part of a network? Why would a mosque get burned down right afterwards? Somebody obviously knows where this connection comes from. Somebody obviously understands where these bombs are being made. And you know what I think is also hilarious? Have you ever tried calling one of these mosques? For a video, Steven Crowder tried calling these mosques. He called about 15 of them. Not a single one answered the phone. No answering machine. No message collector. Nothing. One might even think that these mosques are a front. A business front of propaganda in order to illusion people of what's really going on. Why would that place get burned down if it's just a church? That's very interesting. Cells everywhere. Let's get into another video here.
Okay, so it's about 6:30 a.m. at the time of this recording. Obviously, just heart-wrenching, waking up to the Manchester terrorist bombing, and now I don't know exactly what's happening in the Philippines. It's just unfolding. Just a pit in my stomach, and you know I know that outrage is easy, and you see it a lot on both sides, but particularly on the right with just the finger wagging and sort of false patriotism and. We're still going to write comedy tonight. We're still going to do what we can to try and create a show. But I think that whether it's journalism or outrage or even comedy, it serves no purpose if there isn't some kind of a seeking for truth. And I don't mean your truth. I don't mean finding a truth. I mean the truth. There's no living your truth. There's the truth. And let's get down to some concretes. A lot of other people are trying to avoid talking specifics. Let's talk some specifics. Right now, I just read in the Daily Beast they arrested the man in association right now, a suspect with the Manchester terrorist attack, and they said, we need to fight the root. I think the influence of these violence. It's difficult to fight the values, the influence, the influencers of the violence, something along those lines, but refuse to say Islamic terrorism. We don't know that yet. Necessarily. We do know that apparently in the Philippines it is Islamic terrorism. Listen, if you want to practice Islam,
that's a weird position to be in if you don't believe anything.
Semi-secular sense, fine. But I think it's time to acknowledge that political Islam, as prescribed by Muhammad,
yeah, because it could turn into like a copycat thing.
What do I mean by that? Well, okay, let's nail down some.
It's not the easiest thing to cover.
Values. Let's exclude terrorism for a second. Do you believe in any Sharia courts whatsoever in Western culture? You're not welcome here. Do you believe that it's okay if you marry a 6-year-old? You're not welcome. Do you believe that it's okay to beat your wife for any reason at all? You're not welcome. Do you believe in any kind of punishment? Not only death, any kind of a punishment.
Listen, let me tell you. I mean, do you believe that if something major happens, that CNN won't cover it? I mean, you can't go to every single thing that you approach and just think it's false. I mean, mainstream media tells the truth once in a while, bro. Alternative media tells the truth once in a while. I'm saying, the truth seekers, especially in a world of corruption, telling the truth is a revolutionary action. Remember that shit.
For apostasy or people leaving the faith of Islam, you're not welcome. Do you believe in any kind of punishment for blasphemy? As you see with Zuckerberg and Facebook saying they're going to crack down on anti-Islamic...
He was a white person, Kevin. I will challenge you that all day. He was a white person that came from Britain, that went to Lebanon, that switched religions, performed a jihad inside of an Ariana Grande concert. Shortly after that, a fucking mosque was burnt down. So you're going to tell me that there's not a network connection? You're going to tell me and just about all of the major attacks that have been performed are people that have switched religions, or mainly white people. Yes, I'm blaming fucking white people. You got a problem with that, bro? Come at me. Come at me, bro.
Blasphemous posts. Do you believe in any kind of punishment for blasphemy? You're not welcome. These values, the political prescription of Islam, is by its own definition completely incompatible with Western culture because it seeks to eradicate Western.
Okay, so with that comment, then you're suggesting that both of my parents are from China, but I was born an American, so I must still be China. So if I perform a terrorist attack in America, I'm not American, right?
Culture. That's its purpose. And I would think this would be some common ground where progressives, leftists, and the right should be able to come together, because the left would completely get on board with eradicating these worldviews if attributed to Christians. If Christians were okay with beating their wives, if Christians were okay with jailing people who spoke out against Christ, of course they'd have a problem.
Now they're not British?
I think that we should have the exact same problem with
I thought they were all British, Jimmy. What happened to that?
When When I lived in Canada, 9/11 happened, and I remember being in comedy clubs and people saying, well, you know what, it doesn't happen in Canada, it doesn't happen in Europe, it doesn't happen in Denmark, it's because America's poked the bear. Well, now it's happening everywhere. And that's because appeasement is completely futile. Trying to appease a group of people whose worldview requires the eradication of those who appease them is so silly. I can't even wrap my mind around it. And today, the outrage now is Donald Trump called them losers at life. We're seeing this. Hey, Donald Trump, can you believe Donald Trump called them losers at life? Well, yeah. Yeah, I can. And you know what? He's not the most eloquent guy. Neither am I, apparently. I've talked about that.
He did say that. He's like, okay, and our heart and our thoughts and our prayers, they go out to the families of the Ariana Grande concert. And I just want you to know that these people, they're losers. And I'm not going to call them monsters on this day, because they would like that term. They would think that that was not a bad thing. So, let me tell you, they are losers. Just remember that.
You know why he's saying losers at life? You know why that's different from people saying this heinous attack and these monsters? Because he's trying to shame them. Because terrorists, because Islamic extremists can only be punished through shame. Shame is worse than death. That's why people have talked about bacon-tipped bullets or bacon grease, because they have a very physical worldview of heaven when they reach heaven's gates, and it would be shameful to be associated with the lowly pig. That's why everyone was so outraged at Abu Ghraib when, God forbid, American female soldiers stripped terrorists naked and had dogs barking at them while they laughed. Which, by the way, if I'm an American and I'm captured by ISIS, and what they do is have a woman laugh at me naked with a dog barking, I'll do a jig and I'll
fucking rage on you, bro. I'll rage.
Alive in a cage. So, could he find a better way to express himself to the president?
I think we can find a common ground. I don't think that I don't hear what you're saying, Kevin, because I do. I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, it's like, we have to understand that in an open border society that where these people are losing their faith, losing their religion, losing their identity, isn't it important that you own your ethnicity, own your religion, own your faith, own your opinions, own your biases? I think it is. I think it's very important. So, it's just my opinion.
And sure, I would like to see him do so, hopefully in the hours that follow. But starting by shaming them and belittling them, that's one hell of a start. And that's why you're seeing a contrast between him and other leaders. And I'm not the biggest fan of him on every issue, but you know what? Today, I certainly stand with the President of the United States and the sentiment of shaming these absolute losers at life in contrast with other world leaders.
I'm kind of glad you said that, because, when are we as Brits, as Englishmen, as Irishmen, as people from the UK, from Great Britain, whatever the fuck you want to call it, people from America, let's just sum it up with anybody that believes in freedom and Western civilization, anybody that believes in nationalism and populism, anybody that believes in that, we need to figure out that we're not compatible with this type of thing. We can't assimilate to this type of thing. Open borders and unity is not going to fucking work, all right? Open borders and unity, look how it's going. Look at Venezuela. Look at these weekly fucking terrorist attacks. I'm just trying to say, it's time to declare that we're not friends. It's time to declare that there's obviously a distinct separation between us. I think it's time we put their heads on spikes, because it's time to shame. The only understanding that they have, the only language they speak, is guilt and shame. If you guilt them and you shame them against their religion, against what they believe in, then that is one of the biggest forms of blasphemy in their great faith. See what I'm trying to say? These people put pig heads on poles because it's against their religion to eat pork. And Americans, Western people, let's just say Western people, anybody that believes in Western civilization, populism, nationalism, the freedom of choice, the freedom of rights. If you believe in that, then they're trying to offend you with putting that pig on that pole. Believe that. Believe that. Yes, Riff, let's get him. Riff, you vote Trump? Shame on you. I did vote Trump. I voted Trump. I'm not going to hide from that. And am I happy with everything Trump is doing? No. No. I like some of the things he's doing with America, and American policy, and American economy. I like that. But what he's doing with foreign policy, I don't like it at all. He sucks with foreign policies. He's a loser. Okay? Let's face it. He's a loser. Losers. Apparently, yes. Apparently being proud to be American is also racist. Think about that. Beer is my religion. Fucking right. That's what's up. Arab stints print all the hate, but they got all the oil and the money. And don't you find it interesting that America is trying to cozy up to Saudi Arabia? They're trying to cozy up to Syria. Don't you find that interesting? Smoke, what's going on? Apparently being proud to be English is racist. You fucking know it is, bro. Apparently being American, being proud to be nationalist is racist. You know, now you got to be careful how you use that term, because all the way back to the Nazis, they kind of identified themselves as socialist nationalists, right? There's a lot of ists going on there. But yeah, but anybody that believes in freedom of choice, freedom of, pro-life, whatever you want, you disagree with amnesty, you disagree with open borders, if you want privacy, if you want identity, if you want private property, if you want to own your own business, then they're against you. They don't want that. They don't want you to be in an open, free Western civilization. Because capitalism is the tool of freedom. Socialism is the tool of slavery. And that's why many people have died under the guise of communism, because socialism and communism is sold to us in the disguise of unity. Unity. Oh, we have to be unified. We have to have, open borders. Let them all in because we're unified. Look at the great melting pot. We're all getting along. No, we're not all getting along, are we? Look how bad it's going, unfortunately. So I think it's time we draw a line. I think it's time we come together as Western culture. Anybody that believes in freedom, the right to own a gun, the right to own private property, the right to stand up for yourself, the right to have freedom of speech and speak your mind, share your opinion. We need to identify with one another. We need to stand together and realize who the true enemies are. These unelected officials, the EU, the UN. These people that are spending millions of dollars on radical groups, like the radical group we have here in America, which is Antifa, which is a great way to shift gears into Antifa, because I have to talk a lot about that type of shit too, because I want to talk about shit like that. But the UN, EU, top parts of our American government as well, especially on the left side, Democratic, have decided, and even Republican. Don't think Republicans are getting out of this squeaky clean, because they're not, okay? A lot of people have decided to align themselves and partner up with radical Wahhabis, radical Islamicists, in order to pull off these terrorist attacks inside of these types of situations. And why? Why would they do that? In order to intimidate civilians into submission, into tolerance. That's what's going on. You have to tolerate this. It's part of the norm. It's an everyday thing now. The French president said, hey, don't worry about it. This is a necessary advancement for the great Islamic State. What's going on, Britain? What's going on, England? What's going on, Irish men? What's going on, all you motherfuckers over there? Those are my fellow people. Those are my ancestors. I'm a white Scottishman. My ancestors came here many years ago. I'm a immigrant to this country. And that's what's beautiful about America, is that all religions, all races, all faiths, all colors, all creeds can come together under the ideology of a constitution and a Bill of Rights. And that Constitution innately protects every single one of us. And that Constitution is put in place to prevent tyranny. The Second Amendment has nothing to do with you owning a gun to defend or to hunt an animal. The Second Amendment is in place to allow you to bear arms against tyranny, against domestic terrorism, against your own government, if that's what it takes. We the people, and you the people over there in Europe, have the responsibility and the ability to stand up and fight for your freedom. And fight. Now, I'm not saying go and beat up people in the streets. I'm saying get politically activated. Get involved. Show up to these rallies. Show up to these events. Share your opinions. Share your thoughts. Vote. Get your fucking ass out there and vote. Figure out what's going on in your local communities. Get involved with charities. Get involved with food drives. Figure out who your people are, who your friends are. That way, when shit really hits the fan, you know who's going to protect you. Because shit is hitting the fan, isn't it not? Maybe not all at once today, but it seems to me like you guys are due for a little civil unrest. Same over here in America. We got radical groups pushing for it as well. We're due for a little civil unrest. It's time for us that believe in systematic law, that believe in the rights and equality of every man, that believe in the right to privacy, the right to freedom of speech, the right to private property, the right to bear arms. We need to identify with each other and figure out who the fuck we are and start building within our own communities. That's just my opinion. Sorry if I went on a rant there. Boom, 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 boom. Joe makes you think about a lot of shit. You know I'm smoking that stuff to smoke. Shit, where's my pipe at? Where's my pipe at? I'm back on these. Boston, yup, Alabama screwed it up. Hey, don't be talking about my boy, man. I'm just kidding. Gordon Europe was bad for the business. We, the people, don't tread on me. Yeah, you see what I'm trying to say? People don't talk like this anymore, Stephen. But they should. They ought to. They ought to get involved. People don't say things like that anymore. They don't try to rally the troops. You know what I'm called? You know what I'm called? Back in Martin Luther King days, they called Martin Luther King the very same thing that I would be called, a rabble-rouser. Somebody who shares their political opinions and can get people riled up. I can influence people. I can get people to join together and fight for a cause. I'm a problem. I'm a problem. Especially in the situations that's going on. You see what I'm saying? I would be considered a rabble-rouser. Gorilla Glue is fucking... love that shit. Germany spent $17.5 billion in 2016 on refugees. I'm aware. But don't say Germany, you know, because just my opinion, it kind of generalizes everyone into a neat sack, and you're kind of shitting on them all. Let's say Merkel and the German government spent that in order to bring in refugees. Okay, so Gordon, staying. Sorry, I missed your comment. Germany is the EU loan shark. Terrorists and cowards and bombings happening in the claim it was them. Then the bombing directed. Where's the rest of your comment? I know you got more to say. Bro, we're labeled racist. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Just like Alex Jones, are you? You're just like Alex Jones, are you not? I don't think so. Alex Jones is a little bit more biased than I am. I'm willing to admit, you know, younger generation are hard to teach you. Whoa, Curtis, I want to talk to you about that. Rich as fuck Germans, yeah. Okay, let's talk about what Curtis just said. Because I think there's something called the Generation Z. Matter of fact, I'll even put it up here. I think Paul Joseph Watson has a video on it, and he can explain it a lot better than I can. All right, here we go. It's a 20-minute video. I don't want to watch. Oh, let's just click on it. Now, the reason why I'm clicking on this video is because your comment kind of got me. You said that the younger generation is hard to teach. Well, here in America, we have something forming called the Generation Z. Generation Z is growing up to be one of the most conservative groups ever. And why do you think that is? Because they grew up under 20 years of a regressive left. Ban all the things. Hashtag ban all the things. Anything that is racist. Oh my God. So you have these 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds growing up in a regressive left ideology where being an Indian is racist, being a cowboy is racist, brown paper bags are racist, milk is racist, Mother's Day is racist, the NFL is racist, baseball is racist, Tom Brady is racist, the American flag is racist, standing up for yourself is racist, being proud of your color is racist. So now you've created something called Generation Z, which is now growing up to be a devastatingly conservative group that fucking hates the left. And with good reason. Because you, the left, I'm saying, the left, whatever you want to call them, the social engineers of this regressive left bullshit that we keep seeing, right, has created this shit show of propaganda and have created the Generation Z. So now, 15, 20 years from now, when these guys can vote, they're going to have to eat a big fat turd sandwich. We'll see, though, huh?
Now, getting back into the news, of course, I mentioned before the break, these two top cops in Sweden have gone public, saying every single crime, or almost every single crime that they process that comes across their desk, the suspect is named Mohammed.
Gordon's just trying to get a rise out of you guys. Don't fucking
spell it differently.
If he's going to be a dickhead, just don't listen.
The suspect is still named Mohammed. They're talking about serious
He's only making my comments go up, so let him talk his shit. I don't care.
Violence against the police, drug trafficking, aggravated drug offences, attempted murder. You've seen the horror stories out of Sweden. These cops have gone public, simply pointing out the reality. One of them, at least for the moment, has been reported to the authorities as a racist for pointing out these known facts. But finally, it seems, given the reaction, the public reaction to this officer going out, sticking his neck on the line and telling the truth, it seems that they're finally starting to come around. He was...
How are they not racist? I guess they would be religionists, right? So they're not racist, they're religionists. They're against anybody that's not, that doesn't study the Quran. If you don't accept Muhammad in your life, then you have to pay something called the jizya tax. And if you don't pay that tax, then they'll fucking behead your ass. And if you don't think that's true, look it up. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, if you live in that country, if you live in an Islamic state and you don't believe in the Muhammad, you have to pay the fine, which is a jizya tax. If you don't pay that, they will kill you, or they'll kick you the fuck out of the country. But more or less, they'll kill you.
Deluge with bouquets of flowers. What's interesting is that the police department wouldn't allow the press to come and take photos of these flowers. You see them here, but the police department wouldn't allow the press into the police station to take photos of these because, again, that busts the narrative that there is now a huge groundswell of support, which is coalescing in the Sweden Democrats performing well recently in the polls against mass immigration and what it has done to Sweden. And let's just go through a few more stories to that effect just from today. Muslim migrants shouted, "Damn Germans," as they torched refugee camp. This is out of the Gateway Pundit. Muslim migrants shouted, "Damn Germans," and laughed as they torched the Dusseldorf refugee camp. Now, what was the reason for torching their own refugee camp at which they're looked after with taxpayer money at great expense? Well, they ran out of Nutella, which is a chocolate spread, and gummy bears.
Yeah, the millennials are lost, okay? Kevin. Most of them. So the millennials are lost. But
Syria,
Generation Z
ISIS,
is ours. It is ours.
Civil war. And yet they get triggered and burn down their own asylum center because they ran out of gummy bears. Now, something
I'm a complicated person, bro. Very complicated.
Are actually fleeing war, and that many of them aren't actually refugees, and that they're just economic migrants. Could that be the case, do you think?
I know, I have them. I got them here too in Lewiston.
When they run out of
Lewiston, Maine.
bears? Well, I
got them here.
We'll be back with more on the Alex Jones Show. The big video, The Truth About Popular Culture, is coming up. Don't go away. We'll be back. Popular culture is more vulgar, vapid, self-absorbed, hedonistic, and dehumanizing than at any other time in living memory. Culture is supposed to be uplifting. It's supposed to infuse our lives with intrigue, lust for knowledge, and appreciation of beauty. Instead, for the past 2 decades, pop culture has only served as a sewer pipe of projectile diarrhea aimed directly at our gawping mouths. By its very definition, popular culture has always been mass-produced for mass consumption. But over the last 20 years, as I'm sure you've noticed, pop culture has become significantly more vacuous and obscene. It's a rancid assault on the senses. Why is popular culture so contrived, plastic, empty, meaningless, grotesque, and incredibly retarded? Because from the 20th century onwards, post-modernist, moral relativist, critical theory espousing, cultural, Marxist, nihilists began to seize control of society. Postmodernism seeks to erase the distinction between high culture and popular culture. They want to turn everything on its head. In simple terms, postmodernists have sought to reshape...
Now, why am I showing this to you? Because it connects with what happened at the Ariana Grande concert. They want to flip culture on its head. They want you to believe that everything is Islamic now. Even my boy Kevin is trying to come in here and say, well, Riff, you know, they're from Lebanon. He's not really a Brit. You know, he was born in UK. Yeah, I get that. But don't you see that that's the type of questions they want us asking? It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. I don't fucking know. But all I know is that some things don't add up here. They just don't add up. Okay? I'm not fully understanding what the hell is going on. Because we got a lot of money set up. Okay? Now, what I'm trying to say, what I don't understand is what was the motive? Okay? And what I mean by motive is where do we go from here? How does this help? How does this help them? How does this advance their agenda? Is this going to usher in martial law? Is that what their agenda is? Is that what their agenda is? To use these radical groups to create terror attacks and false flags in order to usher in martial law so the military and the corporations can take over? Is that what it's for? Because I'm fucking lost. Why does this keep happening? Why didn't the security guards stop that guy? When the girl reported him, he reported him. So this guy has a bag. He's looking really suspicious. How did he get in there with it? They don't pat people down for these concerts? I know they do here in America. They pat people down. Make sure you don't got shit like that. You can't bring bags into concerts here. Hell, you can't even bring a bottled water into concerts here. Yeah, see, so Kevin, we're on the same page. I just think we're disagreeing on just one or two things. Gordon, the governments create conspiracy. Right. Conspiracy. The word conspiracy theorist was created in the 1960s by the FBI to delegitimize anyone seeking the truth. That's why the word conspiracy theory was invented. You know, it's a clever play on language. Let me ask you this. Let me explain a little language to you. How does this sound? This sounds terrible, right? ISIS set off a bomb to kill little girls inside of a concert. How does that sound? Sounds pretty bad, right? That sounds terrible. Let's say the same thing using government language. A radicalized group detonated an IED inside of a school facility. That don't sound so bad, does it? That's got a nice little flair to it. ISIS killed little girls. That's terrible. A radical group detonated an IED in a school facility. That's not so bad. Oh, man. It's all about language. and the interpretation of that language. That's why you have to be able to read through the lines when you hear that type of language. That's why I like slowing these people down for a second, and then I try to dissect all the fancy white guy talk, right?
Society in their image. And that's why everything's so ugly. From architecture to art to music to entertainment. They're making everything hideous. The goal? To completely undermine the foundation of Western civilization and leave us open to subversion and capitulation. Look at television.
Okay, Kevin. I'm going to give you that, but I'm going to show you something really quick. It's not because maybe you're right. I don't know. But I'm going to show you a video where I got my idea that he was white from. You ready? Let me show you that video. Why can't I fucking find it? Oh my god, it's so stupid. They're gonna make me search my 19 million fucking subscriptions in order to get it. Fucking ridiculous. So anyway, Kevin, I'm gonna play this. I already played this a little earlier, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna play it one more time. I'm just gonna play the beginning bits of it because I want you to see where I got the idea from. Okay? Here we go.
Congratulations, Europe. Congratulations, Britain. Britain is now officially a Muslim country when the news reports garbage just like this. Quotes from Politico. Salman Abedi, a British man of Libyan origin, carried out the suicide bomb attack.
I was just making a point. I know, it was in the foyer of the outside. I got you. Yeah. Because they wanted, it was strategic. They wanted to make it tough for people to leave. But yeah.
In Manchester. Read that and fucking weep, you fucking idiots. A British man of...
Okay, so this is what it says, Kevin, okay? Salman Abedi was the man's name. A British man of Libyan origin, right? Carried out a suicide bomb attack in Manchester. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck, okay? All people care about is this sensational headline. That's all people want to see. That's all they care about. So people like me, for example, I immediately generate a bias attitude because of a sensational headline. Somebody like you will come in and be like, well, you know, he's not quite this, he's not quite what you think. But does it matter? What matters is the narrative, doesn't it? Facts don't matter anymore, does it? That's why it's an information war. We are in an information war. Facts don't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is if you can create a buzz, if you can put on a sensational title, how many people you can get to tweet and share your bullshit, how many people view your content. That's all that matters. You see what I'm trying to say? So I hear you, bro. My bro, I hear you. Okay, Caucasian not only passes Europe in many parts of the certain areas of Africa. Yes. I was living in Florida with the time of the fucking joke, bro. Was he Muslim? Subscribe to my YouTube channel. GVC main. Caucasian also includes most North Americans and large parts of Russia. Yeah, well, what does it matter? These girls are still dead, whether he's a white guy or not. What matters is the sensational headline. That's what matters. You know what I'm saying? Whether he was white, purple, blue, pink, orange, what matters is the narrative. What matters is what people perceive, the perception of people. So if you can create a sensational enough title, then it will resonate amongst the peers and then spread like wildfire amongst social media. Damn, 30 people? Actually, more than 30 people. Question. If we stop caring, would they stop killing? No, they would not. It's in their religion. It's right in the Quran. Semantics, yeah, get you. All you need to do is convince enough people and truth. Boom. What's the discussion? We're talking about the Manchester bombing, my man. No, the dead kids matter. Obviously the dead kids matter, but don't you see how they're using dead kids? Just like the Sandy Hook shooting. right? They're using dead kids in order to push other propaganda, other agendas. You see what I'm trying to say? That's why I said a few minutes ago, what is the motivation here afterwards? What's the motivation? What are they going to use? Because you know how they act. The EU, the unelected fucking representatives that represent Europe, you understand what I'm trying to say. Let no good crisis go to waste. So how are they going to use this crisis? That's what I think we need to be turning our attention to. Colonized on the UK drum, having the country. The Korean forbids killing. The Quran forbids killing. I gotta disagree with you on that one. It strictly says in the Quran that, I mean, Christ, you want to, if you don't believe me, I mean, clearly you've never even researched it, I bet. It clearly says in there to terrorize the non-believers. Clearly says. In Islamic countries, if you live in an Islamic country, right, and you don't believe in the Prophet Muhammad, then you have to pay a tax. Straight up. Enjoy.
The greatest threat to terrorist groups like the Islamic State, the Taliban, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and Al-Qaeda is not a UN resolution or the U.S. military. The greatest threat to terrorists is an informed population, because only an informed population can undermine the ideology that gives rise to jihad. With this in mind, let's go through 10 facts about the Quran, history's most effective manual for violently subjugating nations and cultures. Fact number 1. The word Quran means recitation. The Quran is something that's supposed to be recited from memory. Muhammad and his companions weren't big on reading, and in Muhammad's time, portions of the Quran
was the
were
reason
written down as memory aids. It wasn't until later that some of his followers came up with the idea of putting it all together into book form.
I've never banned a soul. I don't even have fucking moderators. If I'm going to ban somebody, I'll do it myself. No, I didn't ban you. Obviously, you're talking now, correct?
So, why would Muslims want to recite the Quran? Because, fact number 2, Muslims believe that the Quran is the word of Allah. The angel Gabriel, as the story goes, delivered verses to Muhammad, and Muhammad passed these verses on to his followers. But as far as the Quran is concerned, Gabriel and Muhammad were mailmen. It's the word of Allah, not the words of Gabriel or Muhammad. Why do Muslims believe that the Quran is the word of Allah? Because, fact number 3, Muhammad said so. The Quran was supposedly revealed to one man, Muhammad. Unlike the Bible, which contains numerous shorter works written by around 40 different authors, the Quran stands or falls with the lone testimony of Muhammad, a guy whose first impression of his revelations was that they were demonic, a guy who repeatedly tried to kill himself, a guy who believed he was the victim of magic spells that gave him delusional thoughts and false beliefs, a guy who delivered verses to his followers and later blamed the devil for tricking him,
So
a guy who had sex with...
You guys want to? Which version of the Quran is he talking about? You guys want to know verses? Well, they're flying across the screen right now. Pay attention.
A guy whose first impression.
All right, here we go.
Muhammad. Unlike the Bible, which contains numerous shorter works written by around 40 different authors, the Quran stands or falls with the lone testimony of Muhammad, a guy whose first impression of his revelations was that they were...
There's one of your first verses right there. IBN Isaac 106 Al-Tabari, Volume 6, 70-71. There's your first one.
A guy who repeatedly tried to kill himself. A guy who believed he was the victim.
There's your second one. The Bukhari. I'm probably butchering these. 3175, 5765.
Of magic spells that gave him delusional thoughts and false beliefs. A guy who...
Here's another one. The IBN Isaac 165-7, IBN Assad, Volume 1-236-9.
delivered verses to his followers and later blamed the devil for tricking him. A guy who had sex with a 9-year-old girl, had 9 wives at one time, even though the Quran says Muslims can only have 4, married the divorced wife of his own adopted son. After causing the divorce, told his followers it's okay to beat their wives into submission, and so on. So, what evidence did Muhammad offer to show that his revelations were from Allah? Fact number 4, Muhammad's main argument.
The Quran relies on the argument from literacy and excellence. So the Quran relies on the argument from literacy and excellence.
For the inspiration of the Quran was what we'll call the argument from literary excellence, one of the silliest arguments ever offered by anyone for anything. My poetry is better than your poetry, so my poetry must be the inspired word of Allah. The idea is that no one can produce something as wonderful as or more wonderful than the Quran. Now, there are all kinds of things we could do to make the Quran better than it is. We could take out the verses about slaughtering unbelievers, or about raping female captives, or about having sex with prepubescent girls. But one simple way to improve the Quran would be to put it in chronological order. Because, fact number 5, the Quran is not arranged.
This is something you need to realize about the Quran if you're going to read the Quran. The Quran is not arranged chronologically. No, it is not. You have to read it front ways, back ways, all sorts of ways in order to really understand and unlock the mysteries and the secrets of the Quran.
Chronologically, apart from the first chapter, which is a short prayer, the rest of the Quran is basically arranged from the longest chapters to the shortest chapters. But the longer chapters were generally much later than the shorter chapters, so the Quran is thoroughly disorganized, making it very difficult to read. You might not care about the order, but it's actually extremely important because, fact number 6, some parts of the Quran abrogate or can't.
Okay, so this is fact number 6. Some parts of the Quran abrogate other parts of the Quran. What does abrogate mean? Means to kind of, say it in a different way. Just to kind of put a really layman's term out there. Just to say it in a different way, or it would debunk or go against the first way. If you read that way of the Quran, but then you read it the other way, then it would literally say something different. That's why chronologically is important. It's very important to figure out exactly when and where this stuff happened, because, when you get into certain parts, like what I'm talking about, where a lot of people don't understand and don't get it, that's what I'm saying.
Cancel other parts of the Quran. Later revelations typically abrogate earlier revelations, but since the Quran isn't arranged chronologically, we don't know which verses are canceled and which verses still apply without massive collections of commentaries to help sift through this mess. You'll recall that the Quran's main argument for its divine origin is that it's so incredibly well written. It must be from God. Yeah, it's so wonderfully written that no one can understand what they're supposed to do without consulting a team of scholars. This is my modern take on the Quran. What did Muhammad's contemporaries think of it? Fact number 7. Muhammad's contemporaries were convinced that the Quran was plagiarized from earlier sources. How do we know what they thought about the Quran? We know because the Quran repeatedly tells us that Muhammad's contemporaries accused him of stealing his stories from others. How did Muhammad respond to charges of plagiarism? He declared that, fact number 8, the Quran is a continuation of previous scriptures. The reason so much of the Quran sounded so familiar to the people of Arabia wasn't that Muhammad was plagiarizing earlier sources. Those earlier sources were also the word of Allah. That's why they sounded the same. Of course, Muslims today know that those earlier sources thoroughly contradict the Quran, so they're forced to claim that the earlier sources were corrupted. This is extremely odd because, fact number 9, the Quran was only compiled into a book.
Gordon, open your fucking eyes, dude. Are you really that retarded that you can't see the pure connection between the Quran and the Ariana Grande fucking concert? Dude, obviously, get the fuck out of my stream. I mean,
because much of it was lost. According to Muslim sources, entire chapters of the Quran were forgotten. Large passages came up missing. Verses vanished. This was in spite of the fact that Allah promised, He promised in chapter 15, verse 9, to protect the Quran from corruption. He couldn't do it, which calls into question the rest of what He said. Why is this relevant? Because, fact number 10, the Quran is the highest authority on matters of Sharia, raping captives, beating women into submission, chopping off hands for stealing, grown men marrying little girls. These things come from this book. which most certainly is not the Word of God. Learn these facts, my friends, and share them with others. If you like the sources for anything I've said in this video, click on the link in the description.
So there you go. There's your connection right there. So whether or not he was born in UK or not really is irrelevant. The girl still died. There's still an issue happening within the European government. And what is the grand prize for blowing up these girls? I guess only time will tell, because I'm not really sure exactly where all of this is going to go. But now I just want to shift gears a little bit to what's going on here in America. Spent about an hour and a half on Manchester bombing, so I think... Oh, wait. One more thing on this Manchester bombing. One more thing. I almost forgot. We gotta hear Katy Perry's words of wisdom, don't we? Of course we do. Of course we do. We gotta hear Katy Perry's words of wisdom. Where the fuck is this fucking guy? There he is. That's my buddy right here. Okay. Oh wait, no. My bad. It was Paul. It was Paul. Old Polly boy. Forgot all about that. I can't even remember who did the damn video now. I'm dumb. I'm fucking dumb, bro. I'm dumb. We gotta hear Katy Perry's words of wisdom.
Is a complete idiot. She responded to the Manchester attack carried out by a terrorist who was able to exploit open borders by calling for more open borders.
The greatest thing we can do is just unite and love on each other, and like no barriers, no borders. Like we all need to just coexist.
Yeah, it's easy to call for no borders when you live inside the secluded border.
I gotta hear that shit again. What a dumb fucking cunt.
Calling for more open borders.
The greatest thing we can do is just unite and love on each other, and like no barriers, no borders. Like we all need to just coexist.
Yeah, it's easy to
Let's count how many times she said like.
Calling for more open borders.
The greatest thing we can do is just unite and love on each other, and like no barriers, no borders. Like we all need to just coexist.
Yeah, it's easy
Only
to call
two
for
likes.
no borders when you live inside.
To me, all I hear is like. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know.
The secluded border of an $18 million mansion, isn't it, Katie? The rest of us down here in the real world actually have to live with the consequences of
I hope
open
you're
borders.
joking.
The very kind of open borders that let the Manchester bomber go to Libya and Syria for ISIS terror training and then slip back into the UK.
No barriers, no borders.
We're not worth $280 million. We can't travel around in chauffeured luxury vehicles and private jets. We're not so frigging arrogant, elitist and out of touch that we have staff who aren't even allowed to talk to us.
I love you today.
I love you, Katie.
I love you too so much.
After the US election, Perry restyled herself as an icon.
Listen, Jimmy, don't ask me. If you want to generalize all your hate towards one complete fucking religion called Muslims, okay? Because to me, I think you're confused. Muslims are not a race, okay? So I just think you should really figure out who you hate first. It's just my opinion.
The anti-Trump resistance, embracing her role as an ambassador of woke pop. Yes, really. This is the same clown who called for a revolution after Hillary lost. Hey, Katie, you're not Che Guevara. You're a dumb bimbo who dresses up like a slut and sings about popsicles. Don't you just yearn for the days when celebrities occasionally told the truth about the world, rather than this sterile, virtue-signalling malaise, where they all just say exactly the same thing? The only celebrity with the balls to tell the truth is Manchester's own Morrissey.
When you're northern forever, and
you're instilled with a certain
I can't stop you from thinking that, Jimmy, so go right ahead, bro. I just allow me to disagree with you. I'm allowing you to share your opinion. Allow me to disagree with you.
Everybody's absolutely mad. But he's been proven completely correct. The bomber was acting suspiciously for months, loudly chanting Arabic prayers in the...
Hold up. Holy Fook, you was there? You was actually there, bro? Because that's what we were talking about. Of course, we've been talking about it now for an hour and a half. So I was kind of wrapping up the topic. You know, we were just kind of having a little bit, trying to lighten up the situation a little bit. But no, man, if you were there, dude, fucking much love goes out to you. You know, it's a little different than just going on social media and saying, oh, my thoughts and my prayers go out to you. It's a lot different than to, you know, dive into this topic, try to understand it. Who did it? Why? What was their motive? What's the government going to gain from this? I think that that's a little bit more of a service than just saying, my thoughts and my prayers go out to you.
Street, showing sympathies for ISIS at his local mosque. But the neighbours did nothing. They didn't report it, no doubt because they feared they'd be labelled far-right racists. Listen, leftist idiots like Katy Perry have no argument when it comes to open borders and Islamic immigration.
Did you hear the boom now? Did you hear the explosion?
As rhetorical human shields. So when you attack their argument, they can claim you're attacking Muslims. That's why they deify Islam and Islamism.
A little more serious today, Doc.
Human shield from the equation, their argument vanishes. I'm sick of Katy Perry and all the other vacuous celebrities with their lame virtue signalling. You don't have a clue what you're talking about.
I think, like, the greatest thing that we can do now is just unite as people.
Spewing empty platitudes about uniting and loving each other doesn't accomplish anything. It's just a coping mechanism so people can hide from the fact that they're completely powerless in the face of evil.
Scary shit,
I wouldn't
bro.
even
Scary
care.
shit.
It would be pretty harmless. But many of the celebrities doing this are the same ones who exploit people's grief and emotion to shout down people like me as racist for trying to politically push for policies that will genuinely reduce the risk of terrorism, reduce the risk of little girls being maimed and mutilated. That's why this needs to be called out. And that's why Katy Perry needs to shut the fuck up.
I love you, Kate.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So anyways, we were wrapping this up a little bit, and I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that have been happening on 4chan. Okay, so done with that. Done with that. And okay, so all right. So now I want to talk about Antifa a little bit and what they're planning this July, and if you live in some of the main areas that this might be happening in. All right, so we've talked about Antifa before. We've talked about where they got their name from. We've talked about the tactics that they use, how they're color-coded, brown, black, and red. And the browns are the females. They stand in front. The reds are the attackers, and the blacks are the swarmers. We've talked about some of their tactics. We've talked about how they're going to get together and some of the things that they've done this past April and this past month, especially in Boston. Well, they've been busy. They've been on the websites talking about how to organize a little better, how they need a community leader. They're talking about a march against independence. They're talking about a march against Trump this coming 2nd and 3rd, and they're literally talking about violence. They're not talking about a protest. This ain't no free speech rally they're fucking talking about. They're talking about violence. You know, they're going to be burning shit. They're going to be throwing bricks in places. They're going to be beating people up based on their clothing, their ethnicity. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So anyways, instead of fear-mongering you to death, let's just go ahead and play the facts.
All signs are pointing to a summer of rage that could see nationwide anti-Trump protests boil over into full-blown violent riots. The deep state, the Democratic Party, establishment Republican insiders, and the mainstream media are all hysterically pushing the notion that Trump is illegitimate, that impeachment proceedings are inevitable, that Trump committed a crime by blocking Comey's FBI investigation, despite the fact that Comey admitted under oath that no FBI investigations have ever been blocked.
A situation where we were told to stop something for a political reason, that would be a very big deal. It's not happened.
Sorry if I missed your comment.
Facts don't matter. Narrative matters. And the narrative is clearly to
Billy, I gotta disagree with you, but I gotta agree with you. Now hear me out, Billy. Hear me out. We do need a bit of violence. And I'm not an advocator of violence. Mary, how the fuck are you? I'm about to say some fucked up shit. I'm not an advocator of violence. I'm really not. But when you virtue signal people into submission, when you browbeat them for being proud to be American, when you call them racist over every little fucking thing on the face of the earth, they're racist if they like milk, they're racist if they like baseball, they're racist if they're proud of their color, if they're proud of their heritage, if they're proud of their country. Anyways, when you browbeat people into submission, then you're going to create this type of situation. Let me show you what I'm talking about. These are my people right here. This is what happened back in Berkeley, right? I'm always going on about choose your side and whatnot. And honestly, I kind of thought, possibly, that I could come on here and kind of throw some comedy at this whole Antifa Civil War situation and bring some light to it. Maybe we could kind of, have a laugh and maybe, if everyone joined the information war and kind of made fun of this whole thing, maybe it would just kind of go away. Well, I've realized that too much goddamn money has been put into this. The wheels are in motion. And it's not going to stop, Throwing jokes at it, making fun of it, trying to make a light situation out of it is not going to go anywhere. Same thing with over in Europe. They got their problems now too. They got terrorist attacks. They need to figure out what side they're on. They need to figure out how to assemble and react to the situation. And America's not far off. We have radical groups here in the form of BAM. It's an acronym for a radical group called By Any Means Necessary. And they're going to be partnering up with another group called Antifa, which we've talked about here on the show. And they're going to be getting together, right? And performing vicious attacks. They plan on hurting people. These guys right here, skinheads, right? Racist people, right? That's what they look like. That's what people would identify them as. Skinheads. Racists. Well, at least they got some fucking balls. Huh? At least they got some fucking balls to get up off their fucking asses and do something about this shit. See what I'm trying to say? If this shit was happening in my area, if you live in California, if you live close to Berkeley, if you live close to Boston, if this shit is happening in your neighborhood and you're not standing up, fighting for your community, fighting for your neighbors, fighting for your loved ones, fighting for America, then fuck off, bro. You really don't belong in my stream and you don't belong in my friends list. That's just how I feel. Either get your shit together, figure out what fucking side you're on, right? Because when shit hits the fan and police are allowed to stand down, just like we saw in Berkeley. Challenge me on that all you want. I got all the videos to back it up. I don't really give a fuck. When police are told to stand down like they were in Berkeley, and we are allowed to beat the shit out of each other, whose fucking side are you going to be on? Okay, because right and wrong and ethnicity, color, what you believe in, what religion you're about, doesn't fucking matter when you're getting the shit kicked out of you. See what I'm trying to tell you? So, this summer, it's all going to be popping off. Shit's going to be coming down. And if it's happening outside of your house, then get involved. And if you want to talk about shit like that, we can get into shit like that. I know my boy Conspiracy Chef, he's trying to make light of the situation. God forbid if he gets hurt by these people. Is it going to be funny then? What happens if a loved one that conspiracy chef has gets hurt by one of these radical groups? Is it funny then, bro? Is it funny then?
Manufacture a constitutional crisis followed by a coup d'etat. This will radicalize the violent alt-left to engage in massive domestic disorder, emboldened by the belief that they are bravely resisting an actual tyrant.
The left badly wants to remove Donald Trump from office, not with votes in the next presidential election, as you typically see in working democracies, but they want to remove him right now, today. Indeed, the left has grown so impatient, much more than ever, that it is now unable to acknowledge the basic legitimacy of any government act they disagree with. Every executive order is a new opportunity to demand massive resistance to the law itself.
When could the flashpoint take place? The New York Times reports, quote, liberals are planning a series of nationwide protests on July the 2nd known as impeachment marches to increase the pressure in preparation for
Billy with the jokes.
Summer resistance camps
Billy.
generously bankrolled by the DNC.
Good one.
Is this the day when the Soros-controlled agitators will be activated to cause mayhem?
Now, beneath all of this, which is it's the monster under the bed, it's the threat of violence.
Be careful.
At this stage, only the fringes are calling for that, but the rest of us know it's there.
Metallica has already had attacks at their shows. Be careful. Be careful.
We can feel it. Sometimes, especially recently, we can see it. And that is the end or the beginning of it. Violence is what separates politics from war. It's the point where hurt feelings become dead bodies. The point at which countries become...
What did he just said? Violence separates politics. And let me tell you what happens, okay? The very definition of a terrorist is somebody who uses violence and intimidation against civilians in order to exact a political agenda. What are these people doing? They're using violence and intimidation for a political agenda. They are domestic terrorists. Why should we call them anything else? And we as tax-paying citizens, by the Constitution, have the responsibility to stand up against domestic terrorism. Get your shit together.
Governable.
Rally organizers have made it clear they literally think Trump is a dictator and are staging this nationwide event to, quote, get him out now. Another militant leftist group, BAM, claim they're fighting the fascist movement and that, quote, Trump must...
Yeah, if you disagree with me, then I got this to say to you. Then die for nothing. Go outside and stand for something, or go fucking die for nothing. Up to you. Stand for something, fall for nothing. Hang alone or hang together. Figure it out.
Go by any means necessary. This is what they're going into schools and telling young people.
What is your policy on immigration? Do you believe we should just open it up entirely and let everyone in, just let them walk through?
Yep. Yeah. They literally claim,
well, yeah,
quote,
Kevin,
the future existence of...
Kevin, that's the point I was making, right? Isn't it, though, Kevin? That's the point I was making. I was saying, what is it? It's domestic terrorism. And I gave you the definition. Domestic or terrorism, just a terrorist definition. A group or an individual that uses violence and intimidation against civilians in order to push a political agenda. That's what Antifa and BAM are. They're domestic terrorists. And as an American citizen, it says right in the Constitution, we have the responsibility to stand up to it.
Of humankind is at risk if Trump stays in power. This is how unhinged these lunatics are. They want to, quote, shut down entire cities, to, quote, drive Trump out of power, to overthrow him.
Jimmy. Again, it's more or less a friendly disagreement. I don't agree with your fuck all Muslims comment. No, I don't. But I do agree with you against standing against terrorism. Yes. So... do what you want with that. Their right to bear an AR-15. Love my comment wasn't to you. Oh yeah, Kevin. I feel you though.
Openly denounce, quote, liberal tactics of electoral engagement. This group has previously been discussed by the FBI in the context of alleged links to terrorist organizations. At a rally in Sacramento last year, 10 people were hospitalized with stab wounds as a result of violence.
Then go die for nothing,
by
dude.
Members of
Have
BAM.
fucking fun
These are
hanging
the same
alone.
People who were involved in the Berkeley riots and the riots in airports over the travel ban. Imagine Berkeley, but nationwide, in dozens of major cities, all on the same day. Imagine the chaos. Demonstrations are also set to take place in over 90 cities on June the 3rd to protest against Russian interference in the US election, for which there's no evidence whatsoever other than a relentless stream of hysteria. As Tucker Carlson exposed, prominent leftists are also refusing to condemn violence when asked.
Endorsing violence that's the line, and she crossed it.
Right. Well, I don't know if we'd have our current president if that was the line. She has a right to say what she thinks.
Is that a legitimate tactic to smash windows?
That's not an effective tactic.
Is it legitimate, morally legitimate?
That's up to the people who organize it.
So it's okay. There are times when using violence in America.
I've never used violence. We've never advocated violence.
I'm asking you a philosophical question.
And I'm capable of answering. I can't answer every question when violence is appropriate or not.
Every time leftists rioted and violently attacked Trump supporters, but
I can. Violence is always inappropriate, but sometimes necessary. Right?
Both before and after the election, the media labeled it a demonstration. By legitimizing destructive chaos as a valid form of protest, the anti-Trump establishment media is legitimizing total anarchy. They're encouraging it. Maxine Waters, the leading voice for the impeachment of Donald Trump, is also legitimizing violent riots. She called the 1992 LA riots an insurrection, a rightful demand for justice. More than 50 people killed, over $1 billion.
What kind of loaded question is that? I'm already sharing my views.
$1 billion in property damage. White people being targeted and murdered by rioters.
Because of his race, Denny was pulled from his truck and smashed in the head with a cinder block until he sustained brain damage. It was a hate crime if there ever was one. It all happened on videotape. A helicopter caught it, and it happened in Maxine Waters' city. But she did not denounce the attack. On the contrary, she all but endorsed the attack.
Here's the situation from South Central. Drivers of automobiles and trucks that enter this area can expect to, oh, look at that. Terrible. And there's no police presence down here. They will not enter the area.
Is it any coincidence that Waters is in the news every single day, calling for more insurrection? Is it any coincidence that we see the same violent race baiting being whipped up daily by the mainstream media? Police departments across the country are making large-scale purchases of plated body armor, pepper spray, batons, and smoke grenades. Take Denver. Every single year since 2012, spending on riot gear has increased. Manufacturers of riot control products have also reported a huge surge in demand for water cannons to, quote, handle large crowds and demonstrations. Authorities are clearly preparing for potential disorder. People in major cities like LA think riots are likelier than at any time since the LA riots. Although violent disorder is a speciality of the left, Trump supporters could also take to the streets if they believe a coup is taking place, and the blame lies firmly at the feet of the media and the deep state. They're contriving the fake news narrative that Trump is an illegitimate tyrant. They're emboldening extremist military.
Kevin, we got to watch it. We got to watch it. Because I tell you why. We can't let the mental conditioning fucking probe us. I just told you at the beginning of the show, I was pissed off at the fact that the Ariana Grande bombing did not shock me. I was mad at that. I'm still mad at myself for not really getting involved when yeah. Anyways, the point is, desensitization, the mental conditioning of the acceptance of, everyday terrorism is not going to fucking fly with me.
Groups who have already used violence to shut down cities and free speech events. They've set the wheels in motion for a massive nationwide confrontation, a summer of rage.
So there you go. They're calling for it on July 2nd and July 3rd. And it's apparently going to be happening. So if you're living in LA, New York, Chicago, any of these places where these groups, form up and actually perform these attacks, be very careful this July. Why are the police taking a weak approach? Well, because their chief and commanders, a lot of the times they get told to get shut down. See what I'm saying? Like we saw at the Berkeley riots, they were literally told to stand down. Watch, I'll show you. I'll show you. Now,
this is insane. The police.
Now, I want to let you know, this July 2nd and 3rd, when the violent shit is happening in the streets and the police are told to stand the fuck down, like I'm about to show you right now, because I've had people challenge me before. The police aren't told to stand down. Okay, all right, bro. When the police are told to stand down and people are allowed to beat the shit out of each other, right? What side are you going to stand with? Who are you going to be with? Here we go. Let's get into this.
This is insane. The police are literally just standing around, not doing anything. Look at them. There's a number of riot cops here. There's clashes and fights and people getting seriously hurt and injured. But these guys are just standing there. Why are they standing there, not doing anything? There's those guys, and there's people getting seriously hurt over there. Like, this is insane. This is nuts. It makes no sense at all. I guess they want this to happen. I guess this is their bigger plan of divide and conquer, or just letting the situation get out of hand. As we're going to go over there and show you the craziness that's happening. Again, this is Rick Radowski of WeAreChange.org, reporting to you live.
Okay.
As real independent media supported.
Now, so you saw the police stand down, right? Let me show you what was happening inside of that crowd. So, now let's connect the last video to this video. I'm trying to show you, I'm just recapping it really quick because this happened last April. The police were told to stand down, people were beating the shit out of each other. Now, I wanted to show you the police actually standing down. Now I'm going to show you what they were standing down to, okay? So when we're allowed to violently attack each other, again... Now take a note. I want you to take a note. If you plan on getting involved, I know NorCal will. I know he will. Some of you in this party might get involved, especially like my boy David City of Trees. He actually lives in places that this is going on. Some of you decide to get involved. Take note of what these people are wearing, okay? These people have bicycle helmets on, okay? They got motorcycle helmets on. They're wearing eye goggles to protect themselves from mace. A lot of them have backpacks with, other tools in them. You can put weapons on you. You can have a long sleeve shirt, depends on where it has. You can hide things in your sleeve. You can actually use the sleeve itself to choke someone. You can have handkerchiefs on you. You can tie marbles, ball bearings, paddle locks, anything you want that's hard, and put it inside the bandana, and you can actually use it as a club. There's a lot of different ways that you can actually defend yourself in a situation like this, but it's always good to be prepared. And if you're going to get involved, or if this happens in your neighborhood and you're just trying to get to work or go to class or whatever it is, then you should be prepared and you should learn how to move through these groups and how to handle a crisis situation like this. Not because I think you're a pussy, not because I don't want you to get involved, just because I want you to stay protected. You need to learn how to blend in, use gray man tactics, not because you don't want to fight, just because you're trying to stay safe and you're ready to fight if you need to. You know what I mean? All right, take a note. Did you see that? Did you see some of these bros? Take a note. Fucking get out of here. See this guy? That's Base Stickman. Look at how he's dressed. See this guy? Look at that. Look at that. They have look. They have shields, clubs, right? Look at this. Look at the way he's dressed. Look at the face mask. Look at the goggles. Look at the helmet. Okay, if you get punched in the face, okay, you're gonna have protection. Okay. If you're wearing this kind of stuff, you're gonna be able to absorb an attack. Not to mention, you know, a lot of these people will use pepper spray, mace, things like that, and they will attack you. They will attack you. So note how these people are dressed. Just take a note. Look at this guy here. Full fucking riot helmet. Full face mask. See what I'm trying? You see what I'm trying to tell you? The Antifa, they're not ready for this fight. Okay? It's like they've been poking the chest of a big brother. And finally the big brother gets fucking pissed off enough, puts on the fight fucking gear, and it's time to knuckle up in the streets. Okay? And this is what they want. This is what they want. Talking is not going to prevent it. You can say, oh, Ryan, you know, fuck it, I'm not going to get involved. Well, then fuck you, man. You know what I mean? Go die for nothing. Go hang alone. I don't fucking care. Either stand up for something or fall for nothing. That's really your choice. All right? But when the shit hits the fan, okay, and your loved ones or anything like that, if it happens in your community or on your streets, it's time to knuckle up, put your fucking shit on, and get active. Stop sitting on the fucking sidelines your whole life. Right? Know what I'm saying? You hear me? You get me? Alright? It's time to get fucking involved. This shit is not going to go away. RiffRaff thought he could come on here and try to throw jokes at it. RiffRaff thought he could try to make light of the situation. But I came to a realization that too much money has gone into this. The wheels are in motion. These groups are being used to usher in martial law. Because that's exactly what the corporations want. They want the military to be able to take over, so they're using radical groups just like they used the anti-fascista, just like they used the Nazis, just like they used the brown shirt mafia, just like they used the Black Panthers, just like they used the KKK, just like they used the fucking modern Black Lives Matter, just like they used all these other bullshit groups. It's all used for the same agendas. Just different names, funded by the same corporations, the same banking systems, funded all by the same situations, backed by the same names. It's all the same shit. History, literally, right now, is repeating itself. Go back to the 1950s and 1960s LA riots. Does that ring a bell to you? History is repeating itself right now. Be aware of that shit. Figure out what side you're on. Get active. Right? Or shit on America. I don't really care what you do. I know what I'm going to do. Figure it out for yourself. Now. Then take your neutral ass and stand on the sideline after you get pepper sprayed by these motherfuckers. We'll see how neutral you are after that, man. We'll see how neutral you are after one of your loved ones gets fucking clubbed in the fucking face with a brick. Yeah? We'll see how neutral you stay then. So anyways, that's some of the shit that's going to be happening this summer. Now, I don't know how to bring today's topics back to comedy. I'm not going to fucking lie to you, right? I'm not even going to lie to you. We've talked about some heavy things. I've called some people out. I've said some harsh things. We've talked about some heavy topics. I don't know how to bring it back to the comedy, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. How you doing, Mad Max? What's going on? We're going to give it a shot. Because a good YouTuber that I love so much came out with a video not too long ago. I haven't seen it yet, so we're going to break it together right now. Here we go. The easiest way is, what is it? Oh, what is it? Chloride and pneumonia, isn't it? Chloride and pneumonia. And then you shake it, and then you pressurize it, and it creates a bomb. That's the fastest way that I could tell you how to make one.
Sunday, July 17th, Taylor Hillridge had everything.
See you later.
Bye. Until her online life crashed into her real life.
Kill yourself. You'll be happy that you did it. Just go over to your oven and shove your head in it. Kill yourself. Really, you should do it. There's really nothing to it. Just grab a mug and chug a cup of lighter fluid.
ABC Family presents the most powerful movie event of the summer.
They're saying I'm pregnant and I'm some kind of prostitute.
Hey. Nobody. Let me tell you. Let me give you a little piece of information, Aftershock. You got to be careful what you ask your white friends, okay? Because your white friends will have answers for your fucking questions. Just warning you.
Believes that stuff. Taylor actually came to school today.
Find out how.
Thank you, Kevin. I knew I was missing something.
It's really hard to see you in this much pain.
And then you shake it up, pressurize it,
and Kelly Rowan.
When all those people started saying stuff about me, I felt like such a freak. Like I was the only one.
A new ABC Family original movie
bro.
About finding your strength and taking a stand against digital drama.
There is nothing wrong with asking for help.
The world premiere of Cyberbully.
I'm just trying to make a simple point. That life's toughest problems don't have simple answers. You shouldn't just be brave. You shouldn't just roar. You shouldn't kill yourself. But I understand that it's a sensitive subject, and you're probably just hearing me say that. And I've dealt with. I don't want to be Look, I sound unempathetic. I sound mean and rude. Suicide is an epidemic, and I don't want to be misconstrued. Signs of depression go overlooked. So if you're depressed, then you need to book a therapy session. Talk about your depression and let a professional hear it. But if you search for moral wisdom and Katy Perry's lyrics,
Vital, you can't see the broken string, bro. You don't see that broken string, bro? Come on now.
Coming for you, you'll kill yourself. It's silver mullet with the trigger pull it. Get it through your head, it being a bullet. Stick your tongue in a plug, suck a pipe of exhaust. Make some toast in the tub, nail yourself to a cross. Hold your breath till it's gone. Drink a gallon of mace. Be gay in Iran. Let Oprah sit on your face. Jump off of a bridge. Skinny dip in a flood. Skydive attached to a fridge. Drink a Haitian guy's blood. Bring it to the zoo. Give the tiger a shove. Eat a Phillips head screw. Marry Courtney Love.
You ain't never gonna be able to please every goddamn body, and you might as well stop fucking trying. Oprah Winfrey done made $9 billion goddamn dollars, and motherfuckers still be talking shit about Oprah with you should be able to kill a motherfucker just by saying 9 billion in their direction. Just 9 billion, nigga, 9 billion.
Oprah's vajayjay.
Oprah's vajayjay.
Say, Oprah, how's your vajayjay?
My vajayjay is painting. Oprah done every fucking thing good you could possibly do, and motherfucker still talks, nigga, fuck her, nigga.
Honestly, man, I don't have an answer, dude. How the fuck am I supposed to have an answer for all the corruption that's going on? I don't have an answer for Britain letting in refugees, Islamic terror. These unelected EU, unelected UN, and the top affiliates have corrupted the ideology of Britain, and they're ushering in an Islamic regime. Do I have an answer for that? No. My only answer is, you're going to have to be more aware, be more political. And that's basically, I hate it when people are like, oh, I don't give a shit about politics, when it governs everything in your life. I just find that interesting, that you don't care about politics. And the fact that Macron won and Le Pen lost in France just goes to show you right there that we need to get more politically active. The whole reason Trump won is because America got off their fucking asses and got politically active for once in their goddamn... Well, at least for once in our lives. Because America has gotten politically active quite often, hasn't they? We're very good at winning war, aren't we? But the thing is I don't have a base answer that's going to fix all of Britain's problems. No, I don't. I don't have an answer. But... when it's time to vote, when it's time to state your opinion, when there's free speech rallies, when there's things going on in your local places, go down there. Stop being a bitch and go down there. State your fucking opinion. Share your voice. Share your opinions. Go on social media. Challenge people. Debate them. Get more active. That's all I can say. Get more active. The whole reason I even started this fucking channel was to engage in the information war. I wanted to plunge in. I wanted to dive in. And I was like, what better way to try to unlock some fucking minds than on the PlayStation? One of the biggest places where people are fucking more brainwashed than anywhere else, right? I figured I'd bring my platform here. It's a great opportunity for me to try to meet some like-minded individuals, share my opinions and thoughts in a public situation. And then people can critique it, criticize it, whatever you guys want to do with it. In that splendor of ranting and raving about whatever the fuck I care about or whatever I don't care about, I get to see in the party chat what part of my opinions and the way I feel about life sticks to the wall and what doesn't. If it sticks to the wall, I keep it. It defines me. It characterizes me. That's how I know who I am. But if it doesn't stick to the wall, if it gets criticized and thrown out, I lose it. That's not who I am. I don't need that hanging me down, is what I'm saying. I don't have an answer. But always between two parties, free speech, LOL. Not at Berkeley. Not at Berkeley. This channel is awesome, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
She don't like hip-hop. Nigga, fuck hip-hop. I don't like flute music. It didn't make me $9 billion goddamn dollars. Oprah done every fucking nice thing that was to do. Fuck me. At the end of my show, I say thank you and good night. At the end of Oprah's show, you stand up. She done put a muffin basket under your seat.
You all know about my Angel Network, right? The Angel Network! Okay, shut up! This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my life, my own personal life, to help some disadvantaged people with some hard, cold cash right out of my bra.
I disagree. It was Russia's involvement. You know it, bro. Come on, real. Are you talking about the French election? Is that what you're talking about, Smoke? And Jimmy, the next election is soon. So, again, take my words into consideration, please. Disagree with me all you want. You don't have to agree with everything I say, and that's totally fine. But hear what I'm trying to tell you, okay? The election is soon. Take your ass down there. Get involved. When they have rallies and things like that, go to one you disagree with. If the party that you don't want to vote in has a rally and they're going to allow you to have a platform to talk, go down there, do your research, share your opinions. I don't want you elected because of this, because of that, because of your policies, because of your agendas, because of your ties. Get involved, go down there, state your claim, state your opinion. And if you try to say to me that our voices don't matter, I'm going to tell you bullshit, because if our voices don't matter, then Trump wouldn't be president right now, would he? If our voices didn't matter, Trump would have never have won. See what I'm trying to tell you? So, your voice matters. Your opinion matters. Share it. Share it with people. Pass it down. Pass your knowledge down. Pass your wisdom down. Share it. Share it. Share it. Share it.
2 best-selling novels, but 3 of your kids through college without your permission and shit. Well, Oprah's into her star fucking player. She know you think her name ugly. That's why she named everything Oprah. The magazine name Oprah, the show name Oprah, new network name Oprah, Gail's name
North
Oprah,
Cal, where you at?
name's Oprah. She don't give a fuck.
Hello, girlfriend.
North Cal, tell my boy Kevin what's up.
I'm here in Bum Luck, Oklahoma, with my lazy-ass fiance Stedman, and we're going to surprise my creation, Dr. Phil, by disguising ourselves as a dopey American couple, much like the dumbasses that are on his show. Don't smile into camera. Just get in. Come on.
I'm here in Bum Luck, Oklahoma, with Oprah and Bedman. Engaged 12 years, Oprah says Bedman is a loser who cannot commit. Tell us all about it, Oprah.
Well, Dr. Phil, all Bedman does is sit on the toilet talking on his cell phone to other lazy brothers sitting on their toilets. Now, he promised to marry me, but I
stand corrected, Kevin. My bad, bro. I'm backing right away from that one, Kevin. My bad, dude.
I mean, the last time I saw anything as fat and ugly and disgusting
Appreciate that, Jonathan. Smash that heart button. It's right down here somewhere. Smash that
on a
motherfucker.
dirty old lady underwear. Shut up! Oprah. Outside. Absolutely, Oprah. Help me, you silent quasi-black man.
You know what's funny about this is Oprah's actually considering running for president in 2020. You know that, right? And I don't want to get too off on a jag about the elites in the NWO, but Oprah is part of what's considered the super friends. She sits at the table of 5 with some of the other richest people on planet Earth, and they talk about things. Okay, you don't find that a little concerning? I'm just saying.
How you doing, Hector Papicoño? Love that little spick. I always wanted to bang one of you bastards. But my parents are those old-fashioned racist Italians, and you know the old saying, once you go Hispanic, Mom and Dad start to panic. Well, because you steal. Anyway,
Lock the fucking door, huh? I don't like locked doors around here. They make me crazy and shit. I was locked up and said, pass the wire. Pass the wire. I don't want no grilled cheese. No, Leroy, I'm bilingual. There's a difference. No more locked doors. Gracias.
and you, a nice older bitch like this enjoys me. See, but you know I mean that in a good way, because let me tell you something. Women like her usually hate me because I'm dirty, I'm loud, I'm rude. There's always those soccer mom types who come to see me, hoping I'll be a female comic. You know what I mean? Who talks about PMS and dating. Shut up, you dirty twat. Lick it.
Jezebel hit the wall. She really had a fall. What a happy day for Israel's PTA. She screamed a lot for sure when she fell 20 floors. Trying to get the dust man.
Jimmy, I know you're trying to be you're trying to make jokes and stuff, okay? Take your condescending attitude, open up your fucking smartphone, hop on your fucking search engines, do your own fucking research, or don't. Doesn't matter to me.
And God overthrew her plans.
The tale of how Crystal went from protagonist of her own epic adventure to the passive victim in someone else's game illustrates how the damsel in distress trope disempowers female characters and robs them of the chance to be heroes in their own right.
Thanks for saving my life.
What is it? I was in the middle of having sex. It better be important. Wow, that is fucking important.
White people, we like the same foods. Favorite sandwich, peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and our favorite chips, salt and vi. Wow. Who said it? Get the cameras on them. Their grandkids are going to see this. Know what a bigot their grandfather or grandmother were.
That's hilarious.
Country, every one of them is 50 pounds overweight. They are gargantuan. And in the summertime, God help us, in the summertime, they all want to wear short pants. Jesus, Lord, protector of all that is good and holy, deliver me from fat people in short pants.
It's a full moon tonight. I think I found where they hid Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
Oh, boy, you got more crack than Harlem. Look at that.
These people are efficient, professional, compulsive consumers. That's they think of that as their national pride. It's their civic duty, consumption.
Okay, all right, man. All right, that's it. You got me.
Oh, no, I ain't got you yet. Should I get him? Should I get him? Oh, look at this is with the woman, too. Oh, no. Who is sucking whose titties over here? And white people, please do not take it the wrong way. We do not hate y'all no fucking more. It is not your fault that y'all looked the way the people looked who did the fucked up shit to us. And we understand the difference, but we gonna have to get better as a country. White people, stop asking your black friends about OJ. We don't know nothing more about OJ than y'all goddamn do.
I did not kill.
I'm not offended. Jimmy, I'm not offended at all.
100% not guilty. I could not. Line?
Have killed Ron in the cold.
How you doing, Pinball?
Can I take another stab at it? Now, OJ supposedly ran back here and bumped his head on the air conditioning unit, dropping the bloody glove. Now, I think I know where my own air conditioning unit is. Now, I was a running back in the NFL for many years, avoiding linebackers. I would really have no problem negotiating something like that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Who put that there, Furman?
OJ ain't come to a nigga meeting in many a moon. We don't even send him invitations anymore. Everything is not the same. White people, what about OJ? We don't know about OJ. Most of us got niggas who really are in court and really need some leniency from a judge and shit for a motherfucker to be getting off on murder and then going to jail for anything. You're not supposed to go to jail for nothing after murder.
This is the glove that I allegedly wore on the night of the murders. Now, as you can clearly see, it does not fit. As you can clearly see, it does not fit. As you can clearly see, it does not fit. So many questions. Where's OJ? Where's OJ? Where's OJ? Where's OJ? Now, anyone who knows OJ knows that I am first and forthright a family man. I enjoy nothing more than tossing a football around with my firstborn son, Jordan.
It's Jason, Dad.
I knew that. Battery is not just a one-way street, and I tried to keep my cool. I really tried.
OJ, one small thing. Don't use the word battery. It doesn't sound right.
That's what's on the computer. That's what's on your computer. That's what's on the computer. When all is said and done, OJ, you're the only one who really knows what happened that night. Yep.
OJ, only the real killers know.
Right. In closing, I would like to say once again that I am 100% not guilty. I did not commit these heinous murders, and I will not rest until the real... I will not rest. I will not rest until the real killers are found. Wait. All right. You talk.
Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is, so don't even try to ask. Here we go.
I'm Shadid and I walk like this. I'm Shadid and I dance like this. I'm Shadid, I can only count to 6. What the heck come after 6? I'm Shadid and I always wear clothes. I'm a machine. I'm Shadid and I'm stuck in his bag. I'm Shadid and I'm a bad. I'm Shadid and my brother is Bono. I'm Shadid and my dad wants me home. I'm Shadid and I'm definitely not Asian. I'm Shadid and I've never seen a flower. I'm Shadid and I've seen God. I'm Shadid and I've never been hungry. I'm Shadid and I like to clap. I'm Shadid and I do a blackfoot. I'm Shadid and I'm always drunk. I'm Shadid and need a abortion.
Mickey, what's up? We're just having a little fun with some weird shit.
I'm Shadid and I get I'm Shadid and I always come first. I'm Shadid and I jump across the street.
What the fuck is this?
I'm Shadid and I meet basement. I'm Shadid and my body's a magnet. I'm Shadid and I'm immune to AIDS. I'm Shadid.
I'm immune to AIDS.
I'm Shadid and I cough up blood. I'm Shadid and you better not hiccup.
What the fuck is this?
I'm Shadid and I'm allergic to my tongue. I'm Shadid and I gotta pee with the lights on. I'm Shadid cause I'll find you. I'm Shadid and I don't believe in gravity. And I'm Shadid and everything's a joke.
That's gotta be one of the... It's gotta be one of the cringiest fucking things I've ever seen, dude. That was cringy. Woo, that was a lot to handle right there. Some people couldn't handle the cringe. I noticed some people couldn't handle that cringe. I can handle the cringe. The cringe is tough, but you gotta embrace it. You gotta embrace the cringe. It's part of human. It's part of humor. It's part of being human. You gotta get grossed out. That way you know what grosses you out, right? Cringy is important. You don't ever want to not be cringed out. Cringy is fun. It's like being scared. Like, why go to a haunted house when you goddamn know it's haunted? Because you want to be scared. You know you want to be. Not a lot of people could handle the cringe. I get it. So anyways, I think we just about covered everything, we covered the fact that it was, although people will disagree with me, it was a white guy, even though they say it's not Caucasian. He's still Britain. Still Britain. With a Lebanon origin. He's a fucking white guy. What the fuck do you want from me? Don't be scared of it. It's okay. But anyways, we talked about that, how he had Lebanon ties, changed religions, got radicalized, and then performed what I like to call, or what the Quran likes to call, a jihad in order to guarantee his, entrance into heaven, right? For the 72 male versions. By the way. We talked about unity, and we talked about how unity and tolerance obviously isn't working, okay? Tolerance has been sold to us in the illusion of conformity. So tolerance has been sold to us in the illusion of conformity. Absolutely. And the other thing that we went over a little bit about what's going to happen this summer. And if you're part of that situation, if you're near those cities, talked a little bit about that. You know, these guys are talking serious, man. They mean business. They've conjoined forces together, and they plan on beating some people up this summer. Absolutely. They plan on setting things on fire. They plan on breaking some windows, causing some vandalism. Absolutely. And, you know, I want to just warn you about some of the things that might be coming up, some of the things that we're going to see. And, absolutely. It's a white guy. Fake news. White guy. But, I mean, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It was a guy from UK, like he said. Kevin's right. He was born to Libya, parents in UK, not white, right? Still love your stream. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right, I'm wrong, whatever. But anyways, the thing of the matter is, it doesn't bring those little kids' lives back. You know, whether you're right or I'm wrong, or I'm right or you're wrong, it doesn't bring those little kids' lives back. And I think that's really the most important thing here. And, you know, I talked a little bit about mental conditioning, talked a little bit about desensitization, and how I wasn't shocked when I first heard the information. I wasn't emotionally triggered, which I kind of got upset at myself, you know, because I felt like the brainwashing is working on me. You know, I'm being mentally conditioned to accept terrorism, and I fucking get pissed off about that. And let's see, what else did we talk about? Just talked a little bit about some jokes and things like that. My next stream will definitely lighten it up a little bit more, but this time around, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about where I stand on this whole thing. You know, I don't see it ending anytime soon. Matter of fact, I see it getting a lot worse. I really do. Especially in France, especially in Germany, and especially in London for sure. I especially think that those countries or those places will be targeted. We got the Antifa BAM thing happening here. I definitely think we're going to see some things kicking up here around, you know, especially in the summertime. And I expect some civil unrest. I really do. I expect some civil unrest. And, yeah, that's pretty much basically where I'm at. Tell me what you think, bro. End of the day, we die, bro, and what are you going to do? Nothing, right? The fuck is that supposed to mean? At the end of the day, we die. What are you going to do? Nothing, right? What do you think I'm doing right now? I'm doing something. I mean, take that clairvoyance that you're spitting and apply it into the physical. Why don't you do something? All has to do with one world order. Yes. Enough of that bullshit. Let's blow up their kids. See how they... Yeah. Well, they blew up a bunch of kids, didn't they, man? They killed a bunch of fucking kids, dude. I'm calling you out. Blast me some wisdom, bro. I'll fucking rage on you, bro. Hold on. Where's my shit? I gotta put my mask on, you know. Put the mask on. Gotta put my foot up. Hold on. Put the foot up. I'll fucking rage on you, bro. You already know it, bro. I'll fucking rage on you real fucking quick, bro. Real fucking quick. But, no, man, you know what I'm saying. I'm doing something right now. I'm trying to get involved in the information war. I'm trying to share my facts, my views. I'm trying to do research, and I'm throwing them out there in a public situation where I can be critiqued and asked stupid fucking questions like that. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, man. So, that's pretty much it for my show. I really hope you liked it. And, yeah, that's pretty much it, right? If you have any questions or anything like that, I'll hang out for a minute and answer some comments, but I'm pretty much done here.
Listen to Chardonnay. Now what will the judge say? Our dynasty. understand irony. I'll find a friend and don't call me dumb or Nazis. All by
Will do, bro. Will do.
so what it might be.
You know, I thought about
the things I claim to
a lot of people have been asking me when I'm gonna do my schedules. So I'll just try to tell you guys some of my schedules now. I'll probably do more of the political stuff and the news stuff on Wednesdays. I'm thinking about calling it What the Fuck Wednesday. Matter of fact, that's what we'll call it. We're going to call it RiffRaff's What the Fuck Wednesdays. And I'm going to do all my political rants on Wednesdays. I'll probably do maybe like a Monday, Friday type of thing, or maybe like a Thursday. Maybe I'll do a Monday or Thursday type of thing, and I'll try to do just, you know, basically just as much comedy, political comedy, offensive comedy, whatever I can get my hands on, and I'll blast comedy, you know, as much as I can, really, and I'll put a bunch of videos together that, you know, will hopefully prove a point and be hilarious at the same time. I'm going to get some new strings. I'm going to do guitar streams on Sundays. So Sundays will be the Sunday guitar stream. I broke my string here, so I'm gonna go replace that, and I'll do my guitar streams on Sundays. But I gotta tell you, my guitar streams really don't get that much attention. That's why I limited that down to 1 day a week. There are a few people that want me to play guitar, but they're very few and far between. And when they do come in, they don't stay for very long. So I'm not gonna waste my time playing guitar for 2-3 hours. For 5 viewers, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna condense that down into 1 week, once a week, and that'll be Sunday. So Sunday, fun day, guitar day, for RiffRaffs. And then I'll do my what the fuck happened Wednesdays. That will be my political streams, and then I might throw just a random stream somewhere on Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or Friday. You know, I'll try to be as active as I can. And then in the evenings, I'll do game streams, hopefully on a daily basis, as long as my schedule allows it. But I'll do game streams, mostly horror. I do a lot of horror games, love my horror. I'm playing a lot of Dying Light. I'm playing a lot of 7 Days to Die. I do Outlast run-throughs, Outlast 2, Whistleblower, Outlast 1. Any horror game, I love it. I play it. And that's pretty much what I do. Too bad they don't drink. What's up, Havoc? Yeah, you're coming at the end, bro. I'm just wrapping everything up. Just kind of telling you guys a little bit about my schedule. So Wednesday will be news, Sunday will be guitar, and then I'll do some surprise streams somewhere in the middle of the week. And then I'll try to do game streams, hopefully on a daily basis. We'll see what's going on with that. And if you see me game streaming, don't be shy. Come on in. If you want to talk politics in my game stream, I'll do it. If you want to talk conspiracies in my game stream, I'll do it. You know, don't be shy. Come on in my game stream. You know what I mean? But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you, Riffamaniacs. If you haven't already, hit that heart button right down there. Hit that subscribe. Show me love. It'll be great. When I get more subscribers, I might start up merchandise a little bit. I know I'm going to be selling merchandise this summer for side businesses that I got going on. I was thinking about coining the... if I don't really want to give you too much idea, but I might make a certain... streamer. I can put streamers on my t-shirt, and then I can do catchphrases like on the shoulders. I'll do catchphrases. I'll put a streamer here like Super Dave or Laura Croft or whoever, and then I can put catchphrases that they say here on the shoulders and stuff, and I could sell things like that. It'd be you know, I wouldn't sell it for too much, maybe like $15-20, something like that, and that'll be pretty much it. So anyways, thank you very much for coming into my streams. Sorry if I was too harsh. My opinions get a little crazy. A little bit of it is me just trying to pour on some emotion and pour on a little theatrics to kind of, you know, get more excitement out of the viewers and things like that. So at the end of the day, you know, if I offend you and shit like that, you know, I didn't mean to directly. I didn't mean to trigger you directly. I like to share opinions in an open situation, but, you know, if you were new to my stream and that was the first time you've seen me, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking around. But until then, all my regulars, you know what the fucking deal is. And I will see you on the next fucking stream, my guys. Until then, stay classy.